Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the West African Pro League, brought to you by 3 Crown eSports. Pure adrenaline and PUBG Mobile Violence at its best and at its finest. You know, we've been having fun so far. It is your boy Priest, of course, bringing you guys this sweet action all the way from Lagos. And we are chilling, you know. Fire isn't, tapped in right now, but he is going. You're still going to be hearing his commentary once the game kicks off, surely. But he's sorting through a little bit of some dilly-dallying, but he's going to be back for the second game. You're going to see his face surely in the second game. But for now, we saw yesterday's games. I think we've all seen the leaderboard right now, and it gives a little bit of an inkling, onto what we are going to expect. We saw the guys from Royal Academy, especially Osama bin Laden, in that grenade action 1 versus 4 against Active Gaming yesterday. Now that was a fantastic play. Like a boy even coming through as well, giving them a total of 59 points, giving the rest of the lobby a run for their money, and that is clearly what you can see right here. Afro eSports, Fowlplay, Extreme Violence, Citizens, and Most Wanted, even Harsh Shoulders, all of them are in a run for it. You remember, it is the top 2 teams that are going to be qualifying today, and those top 2 teams will be replaced by another set of 2 teams tomorrow, and they are all battling for that 3,500 USD prize pool. 32 teams from the junior league, they did get that participation bonus, so big shout out to them. And again, Fire, 600 USD for first place.
Yeah, absolutely amazing stuff right there. We've seen what all these teams are fighting for right there, gearing up for who is going to be taking home that sweet prize pool right there. But now going into today's games, we do have a map that is cut across that center all the way towards Milton Power, and several different teams are already beginning to find their way home where they are going to be landing. I do see the boys from Habitual, and I do believe Fowlplay already heading towards that spot in Saverny. Every single game you have to look forward to those two, because they're absolutely stubborn. Every single game fighting for who is going to be controlling that spot right there. We will keep an eye on them as all those teams are fighting and now beginning to rotate towards their spot.
Yeah, a playing path from the west to the east, all the way from Georgia down to Milton Power. You can tell that most of these teams would not have they won't really have any difficulty, locating their positions. It does look like, that central position somewhere in the north area, a whole lot of teams seem to be heading that direction. Habitual Gaming, Fowlplay, even Harsh eSports with No Rage as well. All of them, just occupying that north. But the guys from Extreme, they are in a little bit of a central position right there, just east of the ferry pier position. A whole lot of western areas are free. Quarry, Primosk, all those areas are empty. So it's really a matter of knowing this particular play zone, because it does have a little bit of a military base to a Fire, and that military base zone, you can never predict. It can one half inside the city, and another half inside military base. So when it comes to that though, do you think it is always wise to stay in the middle?
For me, I would say, if you are a defensive team and you can find a very good position to defend within that center, then yes, that will work well for you. You have all your loot, you have everything, hold a very great defensive spot. But sometimes, being the team that everyone is looking at, everyone is sending them shots at, teams are crashing on your building, left, right, center, may just work against you.
The possibility of it working against you is obviously always going to be there, but then I remember the guys from Most Wanted, the first day they didn't really catch a break, they were still trying to find their footing, but yesterday they adapted very, very well, managed to squeeze themselves about 20 to about 26 or 27 points, somewhere around those areas. I think 28 points, somewhere around those areas, and they did have a fantastic set of games yesterday, all focused off learning and adapting into the lobby. So that was actually very, very nice to see. And now they are in the running for that top 2 finish. All they have to do is maintain more of the same from yesterday, and I think that can just do the trick for them. But again, there's other teams in play here as well. Afro eSports, they didn't have the best start yesterday, Fire. But you saw what they did in Miramar. Do you think that they can do that again today? Ooh.
Oh, look at that, look at that. We'll talk about that in a moment's time. It was from Afro Esports. But take a look at Most Wanted. Started off things not quite as great as they would hope. They came into this game with a two-man squad, and one of the players right there, Fox, has been caught off guard as he's being taken out by the boys from Goth. There's also another team who's not been having it quite easy, but Afro, on the other hand, yesterday, the Erangel, we did speak about this, was, an absolute disaster. They were trying to play very aggressive and they got really caught off guard. So we'll see if it's the same of that today, if they will just take things a bit slow, try as much as possible to grab 1 or 2 points and see if they can get a winner with the chicken dinner eventually. But it's all down to them and what strategy they do decide to employ.
Yeah, it looks like there's a whole possibility of that happening, for them. But then again, let's not forget, it's all a matter of finishing, very, very strongly, especially on the second day. Fugitive Esports and the guys from Invictus, they were top 1 and 2, kicking off of day 1 and 2. But unfortunately, Invictus fell off. They had the opportunity to qualify. It was just with a slither of points. But the guys from Fugitive Esports beat them to it. And now Fugitive Esports is the first team into the finals. Today, we're going to be having the next 2 teams to join Fugitive Esports, and that is going to be the top 2 teams that finish here today. And again, we've seen the guys from Habitual Gaming, they've put in a whole lot of work, to this point. But again, yesterday, they didn't have the best of games, and that is why the leaderboard, is showing them struggling, trying to get by. Unfortunately, they do not have Shad today, but Jealousy and Death Fury with Psycho as well is in the mix. So it looks like, they have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Have their work cut out for them, especially not having one of their main players Shad within the game. He was probably one of their best performance in the previous days, so we'll see how that one goes by. Maybe the other players around them will be able to perform quite well. We'll see how that one continues to boil down for them. Everyone in the lobby so far just seems to be taking things quite easy, not going in, not pushing as much as they were yesterday. I think teams are trying as much as possible to just get their loot on, just take things one step at a time, just make sure that they're ready for the fight. But what usually happens in situations like this is that it builds up to a very eventful finale in the game. But let's see how it goes.
An eventful finale, surely, because there will be so many bodies in that final circle, that final moment. But again, the guys from Harsh Esports, this is not the way they want to start. This is a potential team to make it into that top 2. Harsh Esports is one of those teams that did a lot of work yesterday, just enough work to put them into the running, for getting into that top 2 finish. But now, they've already lost Torrid, I believe, and this is not the best way to start. It is definitely not the best way to start. You need to start very, very strongly so that you can maintain, maintain that beauty, from the beginning of the first game to the end. That is the energy you have to have. The point difference between the guys from Harsh Esports and the rest of the other top 6 teams is just 3 points difference between all of those teams. I think that is why all the teams are guiding right now. Nobody wants to get caught out, because if you get caught out this early, that it is dangerous because you get nothing, you add no value. It is very easy for you to drop out, and I'm talking about Afro Esports as well. Very easy for them to drop out.
Yeah. The boys of Afro Esports will need to step things up, get a little bit of those kills, get into the action. Maybe same with yesterday. Do you think that will be enough for them to qualify if they do have one of those incredible games where they get a whole lot of kills and then win a chicken dinner?
But then that's not going to work this time around. That's not going to work this time around because yesterday when they did it, the point difference between them and the rest of the other teams is negligible. It's just 3 points. They have to you talked about this yesterday, they have to get a little point here, a little point there, so that when they do have that big game, it's going to give them a big boost, But yesterday they had a terrible set of games and a fantastic final game. And what did they get them? Second place, 30 points. But so do other teams. So do they tally with other teams as well? Like Fowlplay. Fowlplay also has 30 points. Sidizens with 29 points as well, somewhere around there. So that's not enough. It's definitely not enough, and that is not going to work this time around. I am pretty sure that no one is going to allow the guys from Afro Esports do 20 eliminations today. Everyone is on guard today because they know that any opportunity for slacking will be punished severely.
Absolutely. We'll see how that one goes down as we're moving towards that point within the zone where the map shifting towards that southern region, and we're having a map that is pretty much in the third stage. The boys from military, all around military base is sort of free right now. Several different teams will be looking to make the rotations into that zone, and it's going to be a really tough time for a lot of guys because several different positions within those bridges are going to be occupied fully, and we already see the boys from Active Gaming around Novo. It does look like Extreme and the boys from Afro Esports might be getting into a skirmish. We'll keep an eye on that as they are looking to find their rotations into that zone. So it's a very curious one because there's a lot of action that's about to happen. Extreme and the boys from Afro, two teams yesterday that were sort of like the powerhouses.
Yeah, Team Extreme did get a chicken dinner yesterday. Same thing with Afro Esports. So Team Extreme is also one of those teams that's in the running. Beautiful grenade from Sean X there drops the first. Lens is the one to go down this time around, and another confirmation might just work. Something around here. But Afro Esports, you have to be careful about them because for a fact that all they do, is play around. But Choco actually has the right idea this time. The grenades continue to bombard, and now Peachy's been spotted again from Choco. Might just get him dropped down, but the advance is already coming. Beautiful grenade to send them back again. Afro Esports in danger once more, and shots continue to ring outside. Swags is going to be trying his best to play spoiler there, and he might just take the engagement. Neo here versus Choco tries to send a couple of shots his way towards the Groza there, but it's not going to work. Beautiful escape plan coming in from Team Extreme. They've not lost any single body, but they've completed 2 eliminations. Afro Esports down again. Fire, we keep saying this, it might not work this time around.
Yeah, absolutely. They had pretty much, what was it, 2-2 split in that particular fight, and they didn't go fully with all of their players, and I've seen that a couple of times where you'd have maybe Hunter and Swags, in a separate position from the rest of the team, and one or two of the players get taken, and then we saw that right there, right? Once Lens got down, it was really hard for Peachy to sort of like hold that defensive position, and then Choco already had an angle. But in this fight, it's a three-way fight because look at what the Extreme boys are doing as well. There's also Citizens who are now coming into the mix, as well as the boys from Hash. So it's like this position is pretty choked up as everyone's looking to get into that zone, and they're all just rotating around that region, and it's third party after third party, fight after fight. And you can see even the boys from Extreme who sort of like were holding onto that fight and now left with just 2 players.
Ooh, dangerous things happening. All of these teams trying to rotate from that eastern part. They are all running into each other. There's no plan. It's all about going helter-skelter. And that tells you a whole lot of the story here. There's too many teams. There's too many bodies around. Once you decide to start taking engagement, it might just work out again. But Death Fury spots him again, tries to drop him, and it does work this time. Sean is going to go down, and he's sent back into the lobby by Death Fury. Habitual Gaming with 2 eliminations up and cooking something interesting. But the Citizens also driving around. They might just run into each other. You can see Jetto on the right hand side still trying to rotate it out of the play zone, and then the violence is going to be continuing from these teams here. That's Team Extreme are still battling with Afro Esports. They've lost 3 players. It's all left to Choco. Is he going to be able to hold out this one by himself?
Oh, Choco in a very tight circumstances. You can see the boys from Afro just around this region, but deciding to just turn away from that one and head all the way towards that zone. It's not quite an interesting one for the boys from Extreme, but are you going to blame them, Priest? Are you going to say, what, they shouldn't have taken on that fight with the boys from Citizens and as well the boys from Afro?
You know it's all about strategic plays. You know, Team Extreme, they were by the edge of the circle there. They were in the eastern side, holding a little bit of a compound there. They should have wrapped up the fight with Team Afro long before. You know, they let it linger on. You know, they had the upper hand. They got 2 eliminations. They dropped Peachy, I believe. You know, and Lens. So all they had to do was just maintain that energy. But then the fight started to get too long, and then Citizens pulled up, and it became a whole other thing. Habitual Gaming as well pulled up to the scene. So too many bodies in the area, and they couldn't control the narrative anymore, and now they've been eliminated. Send out there the first team to go out of the lobby in 16th place.
It is what it is. Sometimes you do find yourself in those crazy situations. But right now, we're turning our sights onto the boys from Goth Esports as they are in a fight with the boys, I do believe, from Royal Academy. And they've gotten a couple of kills to their name. The currently sitting down with 3 kills. Is today going to be that day? Is it going to be the day where Yulin Nai and his boys, just come home and grab that winner chicken dinner? We also see on the kill feed another Afro Esports player, that Swags, getting taken down as they are trying to make their way into that zone. It's all about placement points at this point in time. For me it's still better than yesterday, right? They didn't get taken out first. They've gotten a couple of kills to themselves. If they can grab some placement points, maybe end this game with about 5 points, it might not be that bad. If at the end of the day they do get themselves that massive game, well, that probably is what they're looking forward to.
Yeah, but it's still a matter of consistency across the board. That massive game that they have, are the other teams not going to have the same thing? It still boils down to how far are they willing to take that massive game. How far are they willing to take this? What is the plan? Are they waiting on that game? Are they going to be doing an absolute mediocre job until that game comes along and presents itself to them? I don't think so. And again, that play style, the idea of trying to navigate these positions outside of the play zone, it can get tricky very, very fast. Solo Esports are trying to be one of those teams that's going to gatekeep the rest of these teams from getting inside of the play zone. Again, Floyd is exposing his left-hand side that he's been spotted, and he might just get punished very, very quickly by the Citizens. It's all a matter of getting inside of the play zone at this time. Just like you said, placement points. You do not want to get eliminated right now. It is 0 points if you've not gotten any eliminations. You can see fire eliminations are cutting through across the board. There's 3 eliminations here, 3 there, 3 there, 2 there, 2 there. Stragglers every single place you go.
Yeah, absolutely. It is very tough for a lot of these things, but somehow the boys from Citizens have been able to keep their full squad together. But keep speaking about keeping their full squad together. Just at the moment when I spoke about it, it was Solo Esports pulling up right there and taking 666 back into the lobby. So the boys from Citizens losing one of their players. I'm not sure what the plan is right here for Bego. What? Priest, what was that? Was that on purpose?
It's part of, I'm guessing it's part of the strategies. They must have been practicing that one a long time. But that is going to be the end of Solo Esports, though. Apex is doing the Lord's work there as he does manage to squeeze yet a couple of more points for the guys from Goth Esports as they lead the elimination bracket with 5 so far. But they are down to a 2-man team, and just like that, the bodies start to drop and hit the floor. Royal Academy, they can see their lead slipping away. They just have 2 elimination so far from courtesy of Blackboy, but it's not enough. He's not doing a fantastic job so far of keeping the rest of these teams at bay, because the play zone is right behind him, is chasing him, trying to get him to to surrender himself inside, but he's been spotted and he is going to be dropped down immediately by Apex.
Oh my goodness, it wasn't Royal Academy who had such a fantastic game yesterday. Finishing this game, I do believe, in 13th place with just 2 kills to the name. We're now turning sides onto the rest of the teams who are currently battling it out hard. The boys from Goth Esports sitting now with 5 kills to their name, doing quite well. But just speaking about them, they do get eliminated and sent back into the lobby as well. So not a lot of teams with full squads, but there's several teams that we haven't really seen much of in this game, Priest. It is the boys from Men of Blood who are currently in this game with a full squad. They've got themselves 2 kills so far, and they're still looking like they've got a lot to say in this particular game. As we do turn our sides onto the boys from First Actic, so you can see several different teams just in the kill feed getting knocks after knocks. The boys from Invictus against the boys from Active Gaming, and it is tough at every single corner.
Yeah, every single corner, being contained by so many different teams. Yeah, you can see Fagboy gain an elimination onto one of the players from Habitual Gaming. First Arctic Skies has been spraying and praying, and one of his prayers fortunately did get answered, but again, this area of the circle is heavily congested, as players continue to drop themselves one after the other. First Arctic still holding down northern position just by the edge there. Men of Blood having a fantastic position out here. They already have 3 elimination. It looks like they might just be running in with this one. They have a very beautiful position out here north of the hill. They have the high ground. All they have to do is just maintain it consistently, but Jetto just decides to pull up to the scene there, and a couple of knocks might just come through again. Drop down all the way from here by Yuri. Beautiful play from Yuri there. Gets the confirmation and sends First Tactics back into the lobby, but Jetto continues to suffer damages there from the play zone. Is itching away at him second after second. This is zone 5. You do not want to get caught out in this zone. Fortunately for him, the guys from Habitual Gaming are north of his position, and again, Men of Blood is still there. Men of Blood are having the time of their lives right now with that position in fire. Do you think they can make something out of this one?
Yeah, obviously, when you do have a full squad and, looking around the entire lobby, every single team has been bleeding. So you have 4 kills. You've gotten into a couple of fights, and now you're getting into fights with Citizens. You're taking away one of your main rivals from the game. It is looking quite good for you, because looking across board, not many teams have the numbers to challenge them. Fowlplay is currently with just 3 players. Vibe Gaming is with just 3, and Invictus with just 3 as well. So if they can keep their numbers, get into that edge of the zone, find themselves a good spot, continue to build things up, then maybe, just maybe, they can snatch this game.
Well, there's a whole lot of opportunities, for all of these teams. All they have to do is just maintain, the momentum that they've already gotten. Men of Blood already leading the charge this time around. They do have a 4-man team. They are complete. There's nothing stopping them from getting this chicken dinner. Team Invictus already down to 2 players. Neo has been knocked down, and I'm sure he's going to be confirmed. He's too far away for the rest of his teammates, so they're for sure not going to save him. But Invictus somehow have found a way inside of the play zone. But Vibe is going to be the thorn in the side of the guys from Men of Blood, as one, and not one but 2 knocks actually from Vibe, and they send yet another one down. But Magic is there to repel the violence again, as Rogue Baby, the MVP, sets our sights towards the violence, going on towards our north position. Beautiful play from Invictus though, but then it's all left to Pinto and Rogue Baby. Will they be able to hold this eastern position just long enough to get themselves into that top 5?
Ooh, really tough for a lot of guys here. You can also see the boys from Active Gaming getting into a fight right there with the boys from MOB, and it's a tough time for all of them. One of the players from Active Gaming is currently knocked down. It's just C-Plus holding things down. Fowlplay's last player, Shark, is also in the mix of things right there. So several of these teams are battling it out for who is going to be taking home this particular game. It is the 2 men Active Gaming within this vicinity, as well as the last player for Fowlplay. You also have Men of Blood who are currently sitting now with 6 kills, 7 kills now, looking quite strong as they do take out the boys from Citizens. Habitual Gaming also within the mix of things. So Priest, it is looking like the boys right there from Fowlplay can't seal this game through. Sorry, the boys right there from Men of Blood can't seal this game through. But speaking of which, they have lost in the numbers too as well.
Yeah. Unfortunately for them, they've lost a couple of bodies. I don't know if they can, if it's enough right now, because they've lost yet another player back into the lobby, and we spoke too soon. Men of Blood have been eliminated, so now it's down to Habitual Gaming, 2 players apiece, 5 teams left, and that is a 2 versus 2 versus 2 versus 2 versus 2. So it's a battle of the duos. Who is going to be the best duo right here? Rogue Baby has been spotted. She's going to be dropped immediately by Ernest right there. Beautiful spray from his position as Pinto hides behind his Tesla. They're just waiting for the guys from Active to peek inside, and he might just send the grenade in that general direction, and Ness might just run into that grenade. Beautiful play from Pintua there, and it just close by, but not enough to do the damage. Again, he tries the first, but he is going to be sent back into the lobby. No Rage eSports actually pulling up to the scene, not enough to do it, but Ness is going to be the nail in the coffin for the guys from Team Invictus.
Oh, and that's putting in the work right there as he's taking out a couple of players right there from Invictus, and now turning his sights onto other teams as well, as Rage does get taken out. It is the boys from No Rage Esports in 4th place. Did you see this coming though? The boys from Active Gaming finding a good spot to themselves, to gotten themselves all the way into that top 3 spots, and it is not looking quite easy for a lot of these boys right here. The boys from Active Gaming have 2 players who are currently sitting down with 8 kills between them up against the boys from Most Wanted and Habitual. Who do you think can seal this game through? Did you see this coming in? It looked at some point like it was going to be the boys from Most Wanted or maybe Invictus that were going to take this game through, but at the end of the day, the boys from Active Gaming are just going wild in that final circle.
Well, Active Gaming, they made the right choice, with their rotation from Novo. I saw that there was a potential, for them to do fantastic, and they did. They did not really have a lot of trouble rotating because they were already on the military island, coming in from Novo. So all they had to do, was just hold the position inside of the circle, which they did earlier on. So it's already starting to pay off. They already got 8 eliminations to themselves, and it looks like, they're cooking something once again. Most Wanted now in their sights, as you can see. Ines, he sends a couple of shots towards Lilies. There, hides behind the tree, but it's not enough to save Lilies from that position. Beautiful spray coming in from Ines. They're trying to suppress the guys from Most Wanted. Most Wanted have been doing a fantastic job so far, but they need some more points. They've only got 1 elimination. It is not enough. They need double-digit numbers if they want to be clear of the pack. If they want to put themselves into that top 2, they need to do better than this. They need to be doing what Active Gaming is doing with just a 2-man team. Skinny being eliminated way earlier, and the guys and Ines and Sleepless have been holding down the fort ever since. Beautiful stuff coming in from Active Gaming.
And Active Gaming in a split between Sleepless and Ines, holding different angles, putting in the work right there. But they got to be careful of Factboy because he can't be the Trojan horse in this particular fight. The boys from Habitual also have a good spot to themselves. So here's what it is, right? They got to take care of Factboy quickly before getting into the fight right there with the boys from Habitual, because the boys from Habitual, if they do spot Ines, they can take him out, and that would then turn the tide of this entire game. But it's all down to very small margins. If Sleepless does find an angle, gets one of the players right there from Habitual, he could turn things around for the boys from Habitual and then seal this game for Active Gaming.
There is a possibility for sure for that happening, but again, a Sleepless is going to be spotting this guy right here. Henro drops him down immediately, and he is going to confirm a beautiful play from Sleepless that he saw the first one. He tries again. He is going to be dropped down. Beautiful touch from Death Fury there, and he is going to confirm Sleepless. Surely send him back into the lobby. He strays to the left and to the right, gets the confirmation, and now Ines is going to be pulling up to the scene, but Death Fury is down to just 1 HP. But here comes the Most Wanted player, the Danger Man, the 1v1 player. He is going to turn this into a 1v1 as Death Fury is going to be eliminated, and it's all left to Factboy. 1 versus 1. Active Gaming, opportunity for them to climb on the ranks. They have two double-digit games to look forward to here if they can make this one chicken dinner in hand. 10 points plus 11 eliminations. That's 21 points. That's a lot for Active Gaming. This could just be the trick. Active Gaming, like I said earlier, before we kicked off, they need a lot of points if they want to be in that conversation, and this is how you start.
Yeah, absolutely. If you do want to be in that conversation to get into that final spot, this is what you do need to be doing. You need to get the double eliminations as well as the winner with the chicken dinner. They've done quite well for themselves. If they could just grab those extra points, get that 10 points, then yes, that would mean a lot for the team. But the boy Most Wanted, Factboy, might have something to say about this, as he is also gearing up for that final fight against Ines. He has a tiny little spot within the zone, and it's all down to very, very tiny margins. Who does spot who first, and who has that quick reflex to get that shot? It doesn't look like Ines is aware of his position. As you can see, he's sending out the nades into a direction where the boy Factboy is currently not situated. Can he find a way to grab this game through? It's all down to his decision making.
Yeah. Most Wanted need this chicken dinner, to give them a sensible, number of points. They need to get this dinner. Second place with 1 elimination is not the best thing right now for them. They are in the running. They are one of those teams that, you need to pay attention to, you need to focus on. They are definitely one of those teams. But then again, Active Gaming have put themselves right into the mix right there with this one. They've now come very, very close. Now there's even an opportunity, for Active Gaming to use this, to their advantage. You can see Ines hopping into the vehicle. They might just be starting to use, the vehicle for some kind of 2 million IQ play. I have no idea what the plan is, but Factboy should not allow the play zone to chase him, because it is going to get very, very tricky for him. It's now going to boil down to a matter of 1 versus 1 abilities. Who is going to be the master of CQC? see right here. You can see Fagboy does have a level 3 vest all geared up with no damage. So is that going to work out for him? Is that going to be the saving grace? Is that what is going to get him this chicken dinner, or is he going to use the drop shot? Is he going to use the jump shot? We have no idea. We're trying to find out. It's a 1 versus 1 to take the first chicken dinner of the Senior League Day 4. And I'm stoked right now because you can see Aness is just restless. He's just jumping all around. He wants, Fagboy to give away his position. But now the play zone is going to help Aness right now to squeeze Fagboy towards that northern position. Now he comes. Now is the opportunity.
Yeah, you can see Anas is just waiting. He's just eating. He's just looking for Fatboy, and Fatboy is just keeping things quite silent for now. Also waiting for his opportunity to bounce. So it is pretty much the battle between the guy who is looking for and the snake. And at the end of the day, it will be Anas winning this particular one for Active Gaming, grabbing home 8 kills to himself, as well as grabbing that winner chicken dinner. So lovely gameplay coming in from the boys from Active Gaming. Slipless and Anez winning the fold for them as they do grab those massive points.
Active Gaming finally stepping on through there with a fantastic game. Now the jig is on. The game is on right now because Active Gaming was not in the mix up until now. Now they've included themselves into the top teams that can actually qualify today. I mean 22 points, that's a big number. That puts them into the 40s, I believe. So they are probably like in 40 something points right now. And any of those teams that didn't any of the top teams like Fowlplay and Team Extreme that didn't perform very well, it is going to be an unfortunate scenario for them because the guys from Active Gaming have shown that there is a possibility for them to qualify today. Even the guys from Royal Academy, unfortunately for them, they did go out very early, but Anes gave us all of those cooking utensils that he was using today because he put the entire lobby on blast with 8 eliminations just for himself. Fantastic play side by side there with Sleepless, doing a fantastic job between the two of them. 8 eliminations to him, 4 going to Sleepless. The best duo I have seen in the tournament so far, coming together. 12 eliminations total for Active Gaming, putting damage across the board. They did a fantastic job. It's basically knowing what you're trying to do and executing it, coming as a 3-man team, rotating perfectly. I do feel though that Fatboy gave away that last game. I don't know why he was still prone. I mean, Anes was jumping all around, jumping every single where. I was expecting a whole lot more from them. But then Habitual Gaming, Men of Blood, these were the 2 teams potentially that I thought were going to, take this game. But Men of Blood, I think they got confident. Fire. What do you think? I think Men of Blood got overconfident and they paid the price.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think that they did, just get complacent at some point in time and, felt like they had the numbers, they had the buddies to go on and win that final game. And sometimes once you get into a position where you have the numbers, but then you lose 1, you lose 2, and then all of a sudden that advantage you thought you had is just out the window. And that's what happened to them in that spot. I was really surprised because I just saw the buddies just keep dropping one after the other, and they lost that massive advantage that they had. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. The boss from Active Gaming gets in the winner chicken dinner, and we'll see how it continues to build off in the rest of the games.
Yeah, I mean, it is game 1. We've got 3 games to go, but this is very interesting though. As you can see, all of these teams trying their best to get some points on the board. You can see a couple of eliminations just running amok there, just running through, trying their best to keep it together. But here we go. You can see now the same thing. Active Gaming is now in 2nd place. Just like that, all it takes is a double-digit finish and you will be there. As it stands, Active Gaming will qualify straight to the finals if it stays like this. But most wanted, Citizens, Afro eSports, Team Extreme, Vawlence, Fowlplay, even Habitual Gaming, Harsh Soldiers, and Men of Blood are still in the running. Goth eSports as well, Solo as well, Vibe as well. All these teams are in the 20s. All they need is one very good game and it will do something for them. Royal Academy need to be careful. They did not have the best game right now. They need to do better. They need to do more. If they slack one more time, surely Active Gaming, Most Wanted, and the rest of these teams will definitely make them pay for that mistake.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You see what we are talking about earlier. Once one team, continues to build up those points, because coming into today's game, Active Gaming was sitting down with 17 eliminations, and that's something we didn't speak about, right? They had just 1 point coming in from rank, but they had 17 eliminations, so they were having quite a great game. But they were picking up those kills left, right, and down. Now that they've had the good game where they have both the placement points and the kill points, it's then boosting them all the way towards that second. So for me, continue to get your 5 kills here and there, 5 points. Whether you win or lose, that game might just come.
And when the game comes, you need to be prepared. You need to be absolutely prepared for when that game comes, because that is the plan, that is the idea. But ladies and gentlemen, we've seen West African Pro League day 4 of the Senior League. As you can see, Royal Academy still hanging on for dear life. Unfortunately for them, they did not get they did get a couple of points there just to keep their lead very, very close. But then it's no longer tight. It's not as tight as we started the day. They've dropped a couple of points, and hopefully I don't want to see them drop some more. But we are going to be heading into Sanok very shortly, ladies and gentlemen, as we go on this break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the West African Pro League, brought to you by 3 Crown Esports. It is day 4 of the Senior League fire. You just saw your team, Active Gaming. Active Gaming did the thing. Active Gaming did the thing. They did the thing. So more of that. Are we going to see more of that? You don't leak the strategy you give them.
Absolutely. The strategy is very simple. You know, when things are going bad, just get some points. Get some points on the board. You know, your game is coming. That game is coming. Just keep going. Just keep going. Don't complain. Just be like a soldier. Just keep moving. That's the strategy. That's what I tell them. You know, just keep playing, and you know, you'll find out 1 or 2 games. Yeah.
Be like a soldier. That is the strategy, ladies and gentlemen. As you've heard it, all you have to do is be like a soldier, keep the points rolling in. But then again, you know, there are so many teams to watch right here, because all it takes is 1 double-digit finish and you are going to be in that top 2. There's no way around it. You know, Active Gaming just showed us that, you know, they did have 18 points coming into the game, and a chicken dinner with 11 eliminations put them right there in 2nd place. As it stands, the way the table stands, it is Royal Academy and Active Gaming that will be heading into the finals to join the guys from Fugitive Esports, you know, based on all things being equal. But then they just got, the battle just started. Now Active Gaming have to do the same thing again and again and again to maintain that top 2 position. Royal Academy, they need to be careful as well. They do not need to fall off, you know, just like Team Invictus fell off, you know, after after day 2. They had the opportunity to topple the guys from Fugitive and qualify, but unfortunately they fell a little bit short, and now here they are fighting for their lives again. So we do not want to be those guys. You need to do better. You know, you need to learn that yes, there's a strategy at play here, and all we need to do is stick to the plan.
Absolutely. Stick to the plan. Continue to get those kills, get those knocks, because kill points matter a lot in this particular game. But taking a look at the zone right there, we do see the boys from Sidizens heading towards that center in boot camp right there. The boys from Active Gaming and the rest of the players just moving towards that region around Painan. We also do see the boys from Extreme, as usual, going to that position right there in Ruins. Goth eSports just somewhere around Camp Alpha, not too far away from the boys from Rage. The boys from Fowlplay heading towards that region around Tatmok and Cow, and in Paradise, as usual, you have the boys from Vibe Gaming calling it home. Around them is also the boys from MOB, as well as the boys from Most Wanted.
Oh, looks like Most Wanted are holding, you know, a split towards that northern position against the guys from Men of Blood. It looks like something interesting is going there, but 11 is going to get the first knock of the game, and he is going to get the confirmation again on Most Wanted. Most Wanted, unfortunately, once again, being on the receiving end of some violence, you know, and they are one of those teams that needs these points. They need these points to do better. They need, you know, to perform exceptionally just so that they can make it in. All they need is a very good game right now. But then, you know, they did have the 2nd place finish in the last game, but you know, unfortunately they didn't have eliminations to back that up, and that is why they still, you know, they still have to struggle and battle with teams like Harsh Esports, Team Extreme, the Sidizens, Fowlplay, Afro Esports. All those teams as well are struggling, you know, with the same thing. They need that big finish, that big chicken dinner, that amazing performance, you know, to get them into the finals.
Yeah, absolutely. It is what it is, as they are all waiting for that big moment to get into that finals. But speaking about big moments, we're already beginning to see teams just get into the gear right now, as we do see Invictus getting a knock right there. Can they get, or actually it's actually Deji getting a knock right there onto one of the players from Goth. But they're in this game with just 2 players, Priest.
You know, it's I don't even know what to say about this, you know, the guys from No Rage Esports, but I believe they are one of those teams that, you know, they would focus on qualifying on the last day, you know, after packing, you know, all of the adaptivity of the zone, you know, and the teams, you know, after all they've learned, that is what they're going to focus on, because I'm sure they're not focused on qualifying today. They just focus on getting as much, you know, needed experience and knowledge of these teams and of the terrain and the zone and how these teams play around these zones to use them, you know, into the final third, you know, of qualifying against those teams. So that is the idea here, I believe, for the guys from No Rage Esports. I believe Goth Esports as well is playing with a similar strategy, you know, so all of these teams, all they need to do is stick with the game plan and do not deviate. You know, I mean, talking of deviate, you can see the guys from Afro Esports. You know, normally you would see them in boot camp, slugging it out with the Citizens, but it looks like, you know, they've chosen a different path today, and it looks like they've chosen your guys. They've chosen Active Gaming today.
Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. All right, so two teams that actually do need to continue to show that they can perform. Active Gaming as well as the boys from Afro getting into a bit of a skirmish right there in Painan. So the boys from Afro deciding, hey, you know what, we're not going to challenge the boys from Citizens, as they had not quite the best of games yesterday, coming up against the boys right there from Afro. And it's not going to be quite the easiest of games. We're already beginning to see Sleepless in a bit of a mix right there, as that nade is pulling up into his direction and might be able to do some damage, but that nade from Peachy does not do anything for now. Can Sleepless spot him and look to take him out? It will still left to see what angle he does have, as the rest of the boys right there from Active Gaming are just waiting and itching for one opportunity to just take out the boys right there from Afro.
Yeah, Afro Esports against the guys from Active Gaming, but Sleepless has been caught up there and sent back into the lobby by Peachy, but Swags, the next one to go down, as Hope is trying to hold the north there, and he gets a knock. Beautiful play from Peachy there, turns around and slaps the other player from Active Gaming, and now the rest of the guys from Afro now is the opportunity to make the push and squeeze the guys from Active Gaming and send them back into the lobby. The opportunity starts to present itself though. Peachy charging a grenade, he might just do the trick. All he has to do is find an angle there, and he does go into connect, but they know it's not going to work this time around, as the Molotov continues to burn right beside him there. He's going to try again. Second time might be a charm, and a beautiful grenade again. Hope is going to fall for the second time in a row, and Ines has been spotted. Peachy Jake giving him the chase, UMP in hand, not afraid to make the push. 1v1 abilities there, tries to get a knock, and he is going to do it. Active Gaming sent back into the lobby. Too sweet. Fire, this is not what you want. This, you have to build on that momentum. This is not what you want.
Absolutely not the game plan, absolutely not the way to go, but it is one of those games, it's one of those things. Sometimes you come into the game with a 3-man squad and you grab the winner with a chicken dinner with 11 kills. Sometimes you come in, you know, with a full-man squad and, you know, you get to face the boys from Afro early on, and you do meet someone like Peachy who is sending on those nades like Osama bin Laden.
Well, speaking of sending nades, you can see Harsh Esports here just crawling very, very closely. They might just be the ones to do something amazing to the guys from Afro here. I don't think they know that MSK is lurking around, is snaking around like a python, you know, just close to the wall there. And I think the guys from Afro Esports need to be careful. They might just come out and expose themselves, and one of them might just be sent back into the lobby. It looks like Hunter might just be the lucky candidate, you know, to the DBS that MSK is cooking right here, because, you know, element of surprise is the #1 element is in this game. You have to be very, very careful. You have to be on your toes. You have to be ready for anything that comes. And Harsh Soldiers, you know, they do need a very, very fantastic game if they want to be inside of that top 2. They are not far away, you know, from Active Gaming, as Active Gaming have just dropped a couple of points once again, and now they're going to fall, you know, on the leaderboard once more. So now these teams need to do better. They need to do a whole lot more to maintain that energy, to maintain the consistency. Harsh Soldiers, will they use this opportunity? Will they use the element of surprise?
Yeah, absolutely, the boys from Harsh getting into that fight right there.
Oh my god.
As you do see MSK trying as much as possible to see if he could get 1 or 2 knocks, but it wasn't able to connect right there. But the boys from Afro being absolutely aggressive. And we saw from them yesterday, you know, making their push, and Peachy being the man, getting knock after knock and being absolutely crazy. It is left to Peace and the rest of the boys to find a way to hold it back for them in this particular game. See if they can get 1 extra knock on turn the tide against the boys right there from Afro.
Well, it is an unfortunate scenario there, you know, because I don't know why he used the DBS. I don't know why the DBS was the weapon of choice in that engagement. He had the element of surprise. I don't know why he chose to use the DBS. He wasn't standing on his feet, you know, so I'm not sure what the plan was there, but, you know, unfortunately it didn't work out for him. Harsh Esports now down to a 3-man team, so this should be enough, though. They can, you know, they should be able to squeeze out the guys from Afro Esports, but then again, that element of surprise is no longer there, you know, so So Afro is ready for the engagement once it comes, and they do not have the play zone. So it's a matter of who is going to get rid of who first and start to navigate inside of that next circle.
Yeah, it is what it is. They've got to make them move quite on time. But the boys from Harsh keeping the boys from Afro at bay, and you can see they're itching to hop into those buildings and begin to make their push onto Hash Daddy. I'm not sure they're aware he's currently on the roof. Hunter is in a bit of a precarious situation as with Addy being on the roof, he may be able to spot him, but we'll see how that one actually does go down. The boys from Afro looking for that 1 inch to take on the boys right there from Hash Esports. And now Daddy does give away his position on top of that building, and it's now left to Hunter to figure out how to take him down, as he does do that immediately, and Daddy goes down and is now sent back into the lobby. Harsh and are now left with just 2 players in this one.
Oh, nice spray from Peace there, and he might just do the trick again. He gets another one down, and Harsh Esports might just be the nail in the coffin for the guys from Afro Esports here. Hunter is going to be the medic right now. Harsh Esports now is the opportunity to deal with the guys from Afro Esports. You've got 2 knocks. All you have to do is engage. Engage full on. Do not let the revive come through. Oh my days, Harsh Esports. This was your win. This was the opportunity for them to do the tricks, but it's not too late for them. Swags is getting his health back up, and now Harsh Esports are in danger. It's an even battle. It's a 2 versus 2 possibility of it being 2 versus 3 here, and Swags is going to use the DBS to seal the deal here. Harsh Esports had this game in the back, but they bottled it, and they've been sent back into the lobby. Oh my days, Harsh Esports. Fire, I can't. I just can't, bro. I just can't, man. I just cannot.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no.
Bottle of the century. That was giant 2 liters Coke bottle right there. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh my god.
Extra large bottled. That one right there, the boys from Harsh. Got to watch, man. You guys have got to watch that video again. See where you made the mistake. Obviously, that decision. There are times when you tell a lot of guys, yeah, why were you aggressive? Oh, you shouldn't have been aggressive. But that was the moment where you needed to make that push and take out the last guy right there from Afro Esports. You already got 2. Maybe he didn't have a nade. Okay, so make that push into the building. Even if you get knocked, you still have your 1 player who's already coming into that vicinity that will take down the last player once he's weakened down. But I guess it's just one of those things. It is Afro's day. They've gotten a couple of kills to themselves, and let's see.
I mean, Afro Esports, they've started today on the high already. They're doing the exact thing they should be doing, and that is a fantastic, way to start the game. Beautiful play coming in from Afro Esports, 8 eliminations and more coming their way, and I believe this is the strategy you need, to get into that top 2 finish, to get the game, into your hands. All it takes is this particular style of play, starting very, very strongly. Afro Esports, they learned from yesterday's games. They landed with the Citizens and they perished almost immediately, but now they've come to another side of the map where they equally have a little bit of skill and knowledge. And now the guys from Royal Academy pulling up to the first act. It looks like a 4 versus 3 here. Peeks inside, a couple of shots being sent away by Rag and Bone. He gets the first knock, beautiful play. He gets a second. Rag and Bone is cooking the guys from Royal Academy. Royal Academy are in serious trouble right now, but he cannot go outside for the finish because he knows that the cover fire is going to be doing the work there. But again, Rag and Bone gets another knock, gets another spray. He might just catch the guys from Royal Academy. He does catch the third. Rag and Bone is the man to do it. 1 versus 3. 3 players down, and it's all left to him. They have to chase that last guy and send the guy from, the guys from Royal Academy back into the lobby. But like a boy, not taking this one for a ride at all. He sends a couple of shots again. He tries to spin. Lyra sends again and a couple of shots, and now Rag and Bone finally goes down to the ground. But the rest of his teammates are still there for cover fire. There are 2 down, and I don't know if the revive is going to come through. But Skies does have the ability to spray from distance, but he is going to choose to revive his teammate.
Man, lovely gameplay coming in from the boys from First Actics and that one, as they do get themselves a couple of knocks and sprays onto the boys right there from Royal Academy. But now the revives are coming through for Royal Academy, and it does look like what looked like the boys from First Actics were on the front foot is now going to be them getting hunted by the boys from Royal Academy. And you can see they've gotten all the players who were knocked down back up, and it is now left to Skies to somehow defend his team in this particular position. Can he get Rag and Bone back up? up. It's all left to the pace of the boys right there from Royal Academy.
Royal Academy, they are looking very, very confident here as they manage to get each of their players up one after the other. Royal Academy had the opportunity to get these engagements all the way around, but now they've been spotted one after the other. Another spray does do the trick again. Skies is going to be dropped down this time around, and there's no saving him. First Arctics are in danger right now. They're about to hand a couple of points over to the guys from Royal Academy as Rag and Bone and Skies are still dropped down to the ground, and it's all left to the last player for the guys from First Arctics. Grenade is going to be sent through, and a punishment is going to be confirmed there, and that is going to be the end of those last two players. Asimi, the last one up for the guys from First Arctics. He does get a knock, but it's not going to do the trick. First Arctics are in serious trouble from having three players down. Now they have, oh, that's a beautiful grenade, and I think that is 3 knocks. That is 3 knocks. Oh my days. First Arctics, this might just be it. They might just be able to clutch this one. And a confirmation again with the DBS from Asimi there. Might just do the trick. It's a 1 versus 1. All he has to do is maintain. Is he going to fall victim to the harsh esports curse? Now is the opportunity. Tokyo is the last one up. And Asimi is swarming around looking for a way to eliminate the last player for the guys from Royal Academy. I don't know what is wrong with Tokyo. Is he offline? What a time to be offline, Fire. Oh my days. It looks like he's offline. Okay, I think he's back. I think he's back right now, but he's not even getting his health up. Finally, he decides to get his health up.
Man, absolutely crazy stuff going down right there as the boys from Royal Academy, who look like they won the hunt against the boys from First Actics, now have lost a couple of players in this particular one. The boys from First Actics are down to the 1 player. It's mutually assured destructions on both sides happening as 3 of the players each have gotten taken out. But Asimi up against Tokyo. Who's going to win this fight, and who is going to have the chance to continue to grab some extra points, at least when it comes to placements for their team in this one?
It's all about, the psychology and the mental right here. Tokyo has no elimination so far, and Asimi just has 1 elimination already on the boost, and that is the DBS that worked, doing a fantastic job. First Arctic sending the guys from Royal Academy back into the lobby with 2 eliminations. Once again, Royal Academy are falling short. They are not going to be doing the trick this time around. They're always down once again. The lead silently slipping away from Royal Academy as they drop points once more.
Man, crazy stuff happening at every single corner. The boys from Royal Academy, who were looking quite strong, as well as the boys from Active Gaming, dropping points quite early before we get into the last 10 teams of the day. And that's what you do expect from a Sandhawk game. Already, we're seeing teams just getting hurt at every single corner. Even the boys from Afro, who got a couple of kills to themselves, who've been in the action, taking out a couple of teams, are down to just a 2-man squad. The boys from First Actives are down to just 1 player, but we've seen them grab a couple of points to themselves. Extreme Vawlence as well, who've been in the mix, have themselves only 4 kills. But now the boys from MOB are getting into a fight with the boys from Habitual. The 2 of them are sitting down with 4 kills and 3 kills respectively. And it does look like the boys from MOB are actually putting in the work in that fight and getting the boys from Habitual taken out.
The Citizens, they are going to be playing the terrain. They are very, very strong when it comes to playing the terrain, so there is a possibility to do the trick right there. Fantastic plays coming in, but again, another spray comes right through from Jetto, catches one of the players from Habitual Gaming. Once again, foul play again in serious trouble as they've been spotted again by the guys from Most Wanted. Most Wanted are coming in as a 2-man team. I don't know why, but again, the numbers advantage isn't going to be in their favor if they're going to continue just like this. The violence, it looks like the guys from Fowlplay are going to be trying their best to keep, the guys from Most Wanted away from their position. Some shots being sent towards the Citizens from Fowlplay, but it looks like this might just do the trick. Most Wanted getting caught out of the play zone once again. I did see this yesterday in their play style, so they did work out yesterday for them, but then that was a separate kind of play zone. And again, Fatboy is going to go down to PlayStation 5. Beautiful spray from Fowlplay, and now Most Wanted are in danger once again. This is not the way you want to finish. Beautiful play coming in from the guys from Fowlplay, holding out position just outside or just inside of the play zone.
Man, absolutely amazing stuff going down right there as the boys from Fowlplay from Most Wanted are currently fighting against Fowlplay as well as the play zone. do know the Playzone is still OP. Playzone always wins at the end of the day. Playzone gets to take away everybody, including the winners right there. But the boys from Citizens also do have a little bit of comment for the boys right there from Fowlplay, as they do come into that vicinity and are looking to see if they can take down PlayStation 5. But lucky is he, as he does escape that molly, but runs right next into a nade that takes him out.
Ooh, that's a bombastic nade right there coming in from the Citizens. I believe that was Bego in the kitchen cooking up that atomic bomb as it lands on towards the guys from Fowlplay. Fowlplay, again, one of those teams that should be in the top 2 as well if they perform very, very well in this game. But the Citizens not letting them have any rest of mind. As you can see, Shy, beautiful spray trying to come from him, but Neo is just faster, just better as he gets Shy down immediately. Invictus trying to squeeze inside of the play zone, and they found a way to get inside. And now Fowlplay with down to 1 player, Lone Wolf playing from the hill. He is on the northern position, trying to keep the rest of these teams at bay. Goth eSports are going to be eliminated next. Fowlplay still trying to hold that position, but Bego not letting them rest. No rest for the wicked. That is what Bego says as he continues to charge grenade to AKM to Molotov, everything that he can use within his power to deal damage towards the guys from Fowlplay. But the violence is going to continue. Bego finally spots Lone Wolf there, and he is going to confirm him, and that is the end of the guys from Fowlplay. They are going to be going out there in 7th place.
Ooh, Fowlplay was looking quite strong at some point in time, but they had several different teams around them. The boys from Citizens coming in with a third party right there, taking them out and getting a couple of eliminations to themselves. Now all they got to do is continue to progress towards the zone and seal this game through. They've got a full squad. They've got a couple of kills to themselves. If they can grab that winner chicken dinner, and that will be boosting themselves all the way up into on the map. We'll see how that one goes at the end of the day, but now they are in a position where they're taking on shots right there from the boys from Invictus. Invictus holding a great spot within that zone, and this is what we were talking about yesterday, right? Invictus needs to get this points. They need to boost themselves all the way up.
Ooh, you can see the Citizens trying to get away into the play zone. They're smoking their the positions they're trying to use to rotate in, you know, and again, a beautiful play coming in from the guys from Invictus. They have the angles, they have the play zone. All they need to do is maintain that energy, but the violence continues to spray right there, and that might just be the end for the Citizens as the guys from Invictus are using the terrain, using the play zone to their advantage, sending a couple of shots towards Extreme, and that is going to be the end of Extreme. Finally, the guys from Invictus, this might just be their chicken dinner, the one that's been eluding them since yesterday, and it looks like Pintua is the man of the moment right now, and he's keeping every single player at bay as the Citizens struggle their hardest to get inside of the play zone. But it looks like the opportunity here, they do have the play zone. The play zone has shifted away from Invictus, and again, Neo is going to send a couple of shots towards the guys from Afro eSports, but then the numbers advantage fire 4 players for Invictus. There is 4 players.
Yeah, Invictus looking quite strong in this one. They've got a good spot within that edge of the zone. All they got to do is make it work as they do continue to make sure that they can rotate in. The boys from MOB also do have one of the players, I do believe it's 11, who's currently outside that zone. If you're wondering where he is trying as much as possible to see if he can get them some few little placement points right there, as we do get into that position where we do see the top 3 teams of this particular game. The Invictus boys looking quite strong and like they can take this game through. All they got to do is take away Gaudier, and that does seal the game for them, and it is just that it will just be left with that one player, 11 from MOB, who is currently outside getting the Q strats.
Ooh, fantastic grenade from Neo there as Gaudier tries his best to deal with Neo, but again, he has to peep right through, and he is going to try the worst thing one, but the DBS is going to clutch him out, and that's a beautiful play from Invictus. The chicken dinner is surely theirs. The last player is left for the guys from Men of Blood, but he is tanking the blue zone. He'll strat in the works right now for 11, the MVP for the guys from Men of Blood. He is going to be able to squeeze in a couple of points for the guys from Team Men of Blood, but it is going to be Invictus that claims that chicken dinner for game 2.
Absolutely great stuff right there from the boys from Invictus. But we just got to say, like, you know, we spoke about this, yeah? You know, in MOB getting a couple of points, they knew that, you know, they needed that. They got a couple of kills to themselves. I do believe they got themselves 5 kills. So they got 5 kills. I do believe they're running away with this game with about 11 points. So to get to use the hill strats, get yourself 11 points, that's still quite great. That's still quite great. If they can continue on and build on that momentum momentum, get themselves maybe one winner with a chicken dinner, then it would have been a great day. Remember what we said, the game is continuing to build on those points, and you know, maybe, just maybe, you might have that one game that boosts you all the way to the top.
Yeah, you know, and Royal Academy, unfortunately, they did not do well. You know, they've dropped a couple of more points, and now they are within reach. You know, they started the day not being reachable, you know, right out the gate, but now they are definitely within reach. You know, all of these teams that have performed, you know, Men of Blood, the Citizens, Team Extreme, all of those teams that managed to squeeze a significant number of eliminations, and even Afro Esports as well, also finishing very, very strongly with, I think, 9 eliminations. So they did, you know, manage to squeeze out some double-digit numbers. But Invictus Neo is the man. He's the one that kept every single player at bay. Himself and Pinto are working hand in hand, holding those angles. But he was the one getting the eliminations left, right, and center. And he is the MVP for that sole reason. He was able to keep the rest of those ops at bay and use that beautiful position for Team Invictus. And again, now Team Invictus, you know, they've managed here to get some points. And this is a team at the bottom of the leaderboard. And now they're trying to say, wait, hold on, let us cook. It's not over until it's over. That is what Invictus is trying to tell us today.
Yeah, Invictus, the boy Neo right there, getting his team 6 eliminations in that one. Rogue Baby with 1, but that obviously doesn't tell the full story, as they did get themselves into a great spot in that final circle. But you're not going to take it away from the boys from Afro Esports, who got themselves 10 eliminations in that particular game. They in several different skirmishes, fighting left, right, center. You know, Afro Esports, they do not shy away from fights. They will make sure that they are going toe-to-toe with every single team.
You know, and you know, that tells you a lot. You know, all of these teams are still being consistent, putting points on the board every single game. Nobody is letting anyone rest. You know, I mean, look at Extreme Vawlence and look at the Citizens. Both of these teams doing a fantastic job of managing to get into that top 5 and still having some eliminations to boot as well. They do not want the top 2 dream to die, and they are doing everything within their possible power, you know, to keep that energy level high. You know, Afro Esports did a fantastic job as well, finishing, you know, in the top 4 with double-digit eliminations to boot right there. Beautiful play coming in from Afro Esports as well. But Team Invictus, you know, they did their best to, you know, maintain the high level of combats that they engaged in, you know, right out the gates, and that tells you a lot. I mean, all of these teams that you can see, you know, in this graph are telling you these are the teams that are roughly in the top 5 right now.
Man, absolutely amazing stuff going through it across board, the entire lobby. You know, it's such an amazing game, because one game you do see Active Gaming doing well, and the next game, boom, they get taken out and sent back, you know, down. And the next one, it is the boys from Afro and as well as Invictus, who are, you know, performing quite well. So we'll see what that means at the end of the day, as all these teams are looking to continue to climb up.
You know, yeah, I mean, Royal Academy, once again, they dropped a couple of points. You know, now they are now within reach. You know, all it takes now is a chicken dinner and you will catch the guys from Royal Academy. So they need to improve, you know, in their skills. Afro Esports still trying to run away from the rest of the teams, but the Citizens, Team Extreme, Active Gaming, not letting them, you know, rest at all. Even Most Wanted still in the running. Men of Blood equally still in the running. All it takes is a very, very good game, a very, very strong finish, and you will find yourself into that top 2. It is a battle of more It is more a battle of second place right now, you know, but this Vikendi game that we're going to head into is going to give us a general idea of what is going to happen in the final game, who is going to have to, you know, divide the Red Sea into two just to get that miracle finish. It is all a matter of who wants it more at this point. You know, the Citizens, Extreme Vawlence, Team Afro, all within reach of each other, all within touching distance, because they continue to put those numbers up. None of these teams has been eliminated early or eliminated without scoring some significant number of eliminations, so what is the plan here? What do you want to do? And I think we saw Royal Academy yesterday. Vikendi was the game that they got 21 eliminations, with that fantastic performance. But in that game, Sidizens was still there, was still second place, and it was an opportunity for the rest of these teams to maintain that energy level. But again, ladies and gentlemen, it is the WAPL. This is day 4, and we are going to be qualifying 2 teams from this place, and by the time we qualify them, we are going to now know who is going to replace them tomorrow. And now we are going to go on a break, ladies and gentlemen. By the time we return, we will be heading to Vikendi. Don't know about them. They know they try today. They bottle. Everybody's bottling. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, everybody's bottling today. You can see the bottling that happened in that last game. Harsh Esports bottling against Afro Esports after getting 2 knocks. I may be bad though, Fire. Like, I'm not the best player out there, you know. I'm not the best. But if I get 2 knocks, best believe I'm a finish. Even if I don't get the white, best believe
I trust myself.
I will finish. I trust myself like that. If I can knock you, best believe I will finish what I started. Even if, you know, 2 knocks, shit, nigga, I will even hold a grenade and charge in there and blow all of us up and end the game for everybody at once. You know what I mean?
You know that like I said, that bottle was very funny because I mean the way they bottled that position was just so funny that, you know, if he had pushed, let's even assume, right, it was down to the last guy. You pushed and the guy knocked you, right? He would have done damage, maybe taking his health half, right?
I mean,
all that is left is that your teammate is gonna come in right behind you and just finish the work for you. So that's all he had to do. He didn't even have to knock the guy, just reduce his health. That would have been fine. But
even in scenarios like that, yeah, I feel you would play the mind game. Make the revive very difficult to do. You know, there are some teams that once they knock you, they'll just start running around you. You know, make you uncomfortable. The APC is strong. The APC is strong in this one. But we are going to be seeing Vikendi. We saw the guys from Royal Academy do a whopper yesterday with 21 elimination. I know for a fact, they're not going to do that again because Vikendi's zone is crazy. You know, but then again, you know, I may be pleasantly surprised, you know, but all these teams have something to lose. I mean, if Royal Academy bottle this one, it's finished. It's finished, you know. But again, that one game that they had yesterday is still what is keeping them on top. That 31 point game is still what is keeping them, you know, on top right now. No other team has done that. You know, they are the only ones that have done it, so that is what is keeping them in first place. So luckily for them, they can be bottling. But I believe, you know, they can't bottle this particular game because if they do, they will now be within touching distance of Afro Esports and the Citizens, even Harsh as well. You know, but you know, the play zone in Vikendi is going to be heavily dependent, you know, for them and how they are going to navigate these positions.
Absolutely amazing stuff. But just in the meantime, guys, do remember to hit that like and hit that subscribe. We're currently sitting down with only 20 likes. So if you haven't hit that like, if you haven't subscribed, if you're watching home on your TV, okay, because I know some people do that, I love to do it as well, make sure you just hit that like. All right, so we turn our sights onto the Vikendi map again. You can see a bunch of it is within that water, and that's what it always does, right? Vikendi is always taking us towards that weird angle, and we can already see several different teams already beginning to find their spot. But no complaint for all of these teams, as there's always builders and a lot of loot for them to find.
You know, southern zone shift. Not the best of zone shifts right now, you know, based off of that playing path, but you know, a lot of these teams, they have a little bit of time to get some utilities up, you know, get their mind right, and then decide how they want to navigate this, you know, the Vikendi zone. Putting us in a little bit of water territory there, you can see Villanova is the center point, and it is a very, very good position for the guys from Active Gaming. But we saw this yesterday, you know, Fowlplay and the Citizens, you know, getting to a little bit of a skirmish in this area, and the guys from Fowlplay did lose one player. I believe that was Lone Wolf yesterday. He did get caught out there and sent back into the lobby. But now I don't know what LB is doing there. He's popping a Molotov cocktail into an empty warehouse. I'm not sure what the idea is there, but he's running around and he might just be giving away his position very, very soon. But this is a very good spot for him. But I know for a fact, you know, the Citizens know that they are there and they know that the Citizens are there. So it's now a matter of who's going to get that first knock, who's going to get that entry, who is going to get the first couple of points in this engagement. Tell us in the chat, guys, who are you rooting for? Who's going to take this position? It is very far from the play zone though, so you have to be very quick. You know, you have to be very, very quick.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We'll see how it goes right here between the boys from Fowlplay and Citizens right there. If the boys from Fowlplay can somehow take them out, it does look like the rest of the players are just going about their daily. Going about their business, trying as much as possible to see if they can get themselves some loot. But look at PlayStation. He's having none of that. He keeps getting closer and closer with the boys from Citizens. And are you sure he's aware of the position? Because he's taking a lot of risk here, man.
You know, he's etching very, very closely, and I'm pretty sure the rest of his teammates have told him, you know, that there's a couple of ops, you know, towards this general direction. I'm sure that LB has given them an idea of what they should be expecting. So I know for a fact that they are ready to take this engagement. They've already decided to assume their positions. You know, PlayStation 5 is leading the charge. He is the IDL, you know, so he is going to be the one leading the charge. But the Citizens already in a split as well. It's really a matter of if someone is going to be, you know, caught off guard or by surprise or something like that. First elimination, first blood is here, and as it is going to be the guys from Team Extreme falling to Goth eSports there. But here we go, the Citizens already, you know, jumping through hoops, jumping on roofs, and I don't know if this is going to be the wisest choice. Anybody that does get knocked down right here will surely be sent back into the lobby, you know, so they do have to play this very, very tightly. So many buildings fire, you know, you talk about Vikendi being, you know, that play zone, that map that has a whole lot of buildings to play from, you know, and if you can play defensively in buildings, you know, it's going to work out for you. Oh wow.
Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow. 666 playing around, playing. As they play, as he gets knocked down right there by the boys right from Fowlplay. And will Gotti be able to get this revive? It does look like he may have that opportunity, but the boys from Fowlplay are inching closer and closer towards that position where he's currently situated at. That nade might do some damage, but it bounces off his own wall right there. And you can now see they're pulling up into him. He was trying to use that DBS spot. Solo will not have any of that.
And the DBS, the maestros of the DBS are going to be stealing all the eliminations here, as Bego is going to switch to his own DBS. He tries again to try to the left-hand side. He tries the right-hand side, but it's not going to do the trick. Solo is still knocked down. Jetto is trying to keep an angle on the right there as well. He is going to try his best again. He switches to the DBS. Plays another knock. Beautiful play from Bego. He gets a second one and the confirmation, and again a third. DBS maestro is Bego, but Bego is going to be dropped down, and he is going to be confirmed. But now it's left to the last two players for the Citizens is Jetto. Jetto tries his best. A couple of sprays with the Bison there, and he is going to do the trick. He switches to the M762. Jump shots. Cleaches in. Citizens take the W. 4 eliminations to them, but they do lose 2 players.
Definitely, they got to a lot of thanks goes to Bego in that one, as he did get themselves some quality eliminations in that particular fight. When it looked like they were on the back foot against the boys from Fowlplay, he came in with the clutch and 2 players right there with that DBS just in time to allow Jet to come in and finish things off for them. So great gameplay coming in from Citizens. They've gotten themselves a couple of eliminations. They've lost 2 players, sacrificed them to the gods, but it was worth it to get themselves those 4 eliminations.
It was absolutely worth it, you know, the way they decided to play that game, you know, after losing the first player to Solo there, you know, but it was a very, very good play coming in from Bego. I mean, DBS mastery is very, very elite. You know, and it's very, very interesting because it was the DBS is obviously almost always the weapon of choice when it comes to close quarters combat, you know, but then using it requires some significantly high level of skill. You know, and most of these teams and most of these players, they do not necessarily have to, you know, run it back or run through the idea of using the DBS as the primary weapon when it comes to, you know, close quarters engagements, but they do love to improve their skill, you know, improve their abilities and the use of the DBS. So I do have to applaud those players that manage, you know, to do it every single time and do it just the way Bego has done.
Absolutely amazing stuff. As we now turn our sights onto the boys from First Actics as well as Afro. We saw them in a lot of action in the previous game, and Ragbone is continuing with the work right here as he continues to put the pepper into the boys right there from Afro, and we'll see if he can finally finish the clutch right there as the boys from Afro continuously just bleeding out on this one, and it's not going quite their way so far in this game.
Ooh, Afro eSports have made that mistake of putting themselves into a corner there as they lose one player, and I think Swags is still knocked down as well. But First Arctics, this is their opportunity to claim back their mandate, but Peachy is still knocked down, and this is what we keep talking about, you know, making the right choice here. And again, beautiful use of the staircase there as they get another knock. Hunter, the next one to go down, DBS again from Rag and Bone, and the confirmation comes through. Afro eSports have been sent out there with no points and nothing to show for it. This is not what you want. Again, another team to fall all the way back. Unfortunate scenario here coming in for the guys from First Arctics as they eliminate Afro eSports.
Man, what a great gameplay. What a tough time in the lobby. We spoke about this earlier on, right? You know, some games, you know, and just not your games. Some games you do go on and you get them kill after kill after kill, and we saw them in that Sandhill game where they were going absolutely wild against several different teams, and coming into this weekend game, now they get taken out as, you know, pretty much the second team in this particular game. So the boys from First Actors grabbing themselves a couple of kills right there and not getting any of their players eliminated. Definitely will be looking to see if they can continue to seal this game through, but they now have come into the crosshairs of the boys from Invictus, another team that we do expect to see doing quite well for themselves as they got themselves into pole position to qualify on that first day. We'll see if they can boost up their performances in this one.
Oh yes, you know, boosting the performance at this stage is very, very crucial. You know, team IC are they're in a very good position right now. They've got 4 eliminations. You know, they have a little bit of play zone to work with. They have time to plan their next move. All they have to do is maintain that energy. You know, and it looks like there's a whole lot of teams in their area. I saw the guys from Men of Blood send some shots in their general direction. Men of Blood they are also in the running. If they can get a chicken dinner, they will also put themselves inside, you know, that conversation as well into that top finish. You know, so I'm looking forward to seeing if these teams are going to do the same thing. You know, Invictus did get themselves that chicken dinner in the last game because everything fell into their lap. They did not necessarily have to do too much, but now they have to work 10 times as hard to maintain. They have to do the exact same thing that they did in the last game and keep that to keep, you know, the numbers, you know, in their favor. You know, they didn't really necessarily get the double-digit elimination, so they need to do something along the lines of what they did in the last game to get themselves some significant points.
Absolutely. They need to continue to boost themselves up. We'll see what that one does for them as the zone is shifting now. We're seeing fights going on at several different corners. There was some active gaming prepping up for what is going to be the second stage of the map right here. It feels like third because it's getting so small, and a large part of it is still within the water right there. The boys from Vibe Gaming also getting into a little skirmish not so far away from the boys from Hash, and Hash have not been looking quite good in this game, as we do remember the previous game where they got taken out and bottled. They're down to just one player left, and it's looking tough for them as Vibe Gaming are looking and itching to seal them through. So everyone's just gearing up and continuing to get those knock after knock in the eliminations.
You know, Habitual Gaming as well. Speaking of early knocks and eliminations, you know, the guys from Habitual Gaming, they did adopt that strategy when we were in the beginning stages of this of the senior league. You know, they adopted that strategy of getting early eliminations, and it was working, you know, out very, very fine for them. You know, but unfortunately, you know, they didn't make it out on time, and now the leaderboard had to reset them, you know, and put them out there again. But First Arctics now are going to be feeling the brunt of the violence coming in from the guys from Men of Blood. But Men of Blood need to be careful. They're not necessarily the strongest team when it comes to 4 versus 4s, and it's starting to show. Rage trying to get an angle inside. He peeks in again. He tries his best, but the off angle is going to be doing a fantastic job for the guys from First Arctics. The violence continues as Magic and 11 are trying to give suppressive fire, but the smokes from Rage are going to do justice to keep the rest of the guys from First Arctics at bay, but they do not have that opportunity there as another grenade comes right through. Might just send Rage down, but he's actually going to escape from that position. He tries the left-hand side. He switches to the UMP. He knows for a fact that the knocks have been revived by now, so he has to be careful. I think the grenade is going to be the wiser choice right here. Skies is going to try his best to peek again from the right-hand side. He's going to squeeze right through, but Rage is ready there. He peeks again. He shoots into the smoke, but nothing connects. Again, the guys from Men of Blood want to take the advantage. They're storming into the building one after the other. Hopefully they do not get caught, but the grenade is starting to repel them. They need to be careful. Icy want to freeze them to death, want to freeze them and keep them outside in the cold, because this is Vikendi. There's snow everywhere. The guys from Men of Blood, they want to keep the guys from Icy inside of the play zone there, but again, Magic is going to fall down to his knees and he's going to burn immediately on the ground floor. Icy get the first elimination. Rack and Bone again get the confirmation, and that's a 1 versus 1. Skies versus Rage. He does his best and he is going to drop Rage this time around. Beautiful play from the guys from First Arctics. Another confirmation, and I told you, Men of Blood in the 4v4s, it doesn't work every single time, but here comes 11, the 1v1 master, but he as well is going to go down. Oh my days, Men of Blood are in trouble right now. Icy, put them in the ground fire. Icy 2 OP.
Ice. Amazing stuff coming in right there for the boys from Icy, the boys from First Arctics, and they do get themselves another team wiped and sent back into the lobby, and they did that in quite some good fashion as they still managed to keep their full squad in that particular one, and they've got themselves 8 kills to count so far. So they've been into the action as well as several other teams, but they still have managed to keep themselves, you know, looking quite strong in this one. We're down to 11 teams so far as we're currently moving into that stage 3 of the zone. And do you think Icy are going to win this one? There's something about them that just feels a little bit different, Priest.
Yeah, you know, I was gonna say that as well. You noticed that as well. You know, something very, very different about them. But I think it's all about, you know, how many teams we've seen, you know, not give us a little bit of 100%, but always be in the conversation. You know, and I'm very, I'm looking forward to seeing if they are going to maintain this energy, you know, towards the final stages, because it's one of those. Is one thing, you know, to have a plan, and is another thing for that plan to work. Even if you execute it properly, even if you execute it perfectly, your plan is still going to be dependent on other teams' plans as well. Are they going to follow the route you think they will? Will they do the thing you think they're going to do? That is the idea. If they don't do it, what happens then? Do you fall back, or do you push on with your plan and damn the consequences? I don't know, but First Arctics already are on their way up.
First Arctics definitely on the way up and looking to see if they can get themselves into that winner chicken dinner position. But speaking about being on the way up, we do see the boys of No Rage prepping and waiting for the opportunity to be able to take out several different teams around them. They're holding a spot right there in Volnova, not too far away from the boys from Active Gaming, who are currently in a central position. And this is where Vikendi is, right? There's a whole lot of buildings to work with. There's just 11 teams, so we're just going to wait and see how the zone continues to shrink. And even with that shrink, all of these teams are still in the zone, Priest.
Yeah, you know, the play zone is very favorable right now. It's not squeezing any teams too far to the west or too far to the east. So everyone just has the idea, you know, of trying to maintain a little bit of a position inside of the play zone. So all you have to do, you know, is maintain that energy, you know, and keep the rest of your team just outside to deal some damage or something, you know, or something interesting for you, depending on what the zone is going to do. You know, Volnova, Abbey, and Winery, you know, even Tovar are still within touch. You know, a castle is definitely going to be out of it, you know, but then the rest of these teams are starting to send bullets in general directions. You know, Active Gaming spotting the guys from Solo Esports and sending some violence towards their general direction. And again, these are the teams that are centered inside of the play zone. You know, Royal Academy, Habitual Gaming, Active, Solo Esports, even Most Wanted get into the mix. All of these teams that are centered into the middle, there is an opportunity for them to be eliminated very, very quickly. You know, you talked about this yesterday. Getting into the middle of the zone very quickly, it's not always the best move.
Yeah, definitely, because a lot of teams will be looking to push into your location, and while you're fighting, you might get into some third-party eyes who might also be sending shots down your direction. So I do find it that most of the time the teams who are sort of like urging it to continue to work around those edges just have a better chance and give themselves the probability to continue to work. But speaking about the probability to continue to put yourself in good circumstances, you can see right there, Mighty does get taken down by one of the players right there. I do believe from Most Wanted, who was in a position right there on top of the building. And will they be pushing onto this one as they've gotten themselves one knock already? We'll see how that one does play out.
Yeah, Solo Esports, another team that, they are very cold and very hot most of the time. Some of the time they do their best, but sometimes they do get caught out very, very easily, very, very quickly. This engagement with the guys from Active Gaming, it is not going to be very wise. It's not going to pay, the foot forward, but I am interested in seeing if they are going to maintain, a ferocious or an eventful engagement towards the rest of these teams, and the Citizens already down to 2 players, and I'm not sure how they're going to maintain, because the play zone is just going to shift just north of their position, just a little bit too north, but fortunately for them, it doesn't shift too far away. It is phase 4 circle. It is going to be dealing a little bit extra damage, 666 and Jetto, the last 2 up. Now, I think they should be more focused, on getting some placement points for themselves, but knowing these 2 players, they are still going to be squeezing out for more eliminations.
I think the goal for Citizens right now should definitely be, just play along the edges. Don't try as much as possible to get into the sides of several different teams as much as you can. Just stay away from a lot of fights and, get yourself into that top 5 spot. Grab a couple of points here and there. They already have 4 eliminations to the name, and all they do need to do right now is just maybe get themselves, maybe just 2 or 3 more eliminations as well as those placement points. And if they walk away from this game with 10 points, it will have been a good game.
Yeah, it's really a matter of, how you start the game, really. If you can maintain that energy, if you can maintain that consistency, at this stage of the circle, or at this stage or at this level of the competition. First Arctics, they've been having a brilliant game so far, but this is not the time for them to get cocky at all. They need to still protect, the points that they've been able to get for themselves. They finally found a way, inside of the play zone, just something for them to work with, so far. And I'm very, very, very confident in their abilities. If they can do 20 eliminations in this game, they are a 3-man team. There's still a possibility there. Unfortunately, they have lost Skies, but it's not too much of a loss. They can do equally dangerous things with Yomite, Rag and Bone, and Asimi, still in the mix right there. They have a little bit of play zone to work with, so hopefully they will find, a position inside of the play zone to do something from, as Asimi does step out of his vehicle there, but he is going to be spotted very, very closely by Habitual Gaming. But, some shots are going to be sent his way, but nothing too dangerous of late. Norwich Esports in serious trouble once again. They are down, they are a 3-man team, and they lose yet another player. They get another knock sent their way towards that position coming in from the guys from Most Wanted. Well, I'm not sure the confirmation will be coming at all, but Most Wanted, they need a game changer. They need a banger, to switch the sides or to change the tides of the leaderboard. It is very imperative, that they maintain decorum at this point, because they do not want to get caught out. The play zone is very, very unfriendly right now. You do not want to be outside of the play zone. You do want to make fantastic rotations at this point, because I know the guys from Most Wanted have their sights set on the guys from Norwich Esports. You can see Lilith is going to be peeking in there, and the shots continue to ring out again. Grenade is the weapon of choice this time around. From Lilith, he continues to send a couple of grenades towards that direction. Wandofi is going to have the off angle here. Beautiful off angle position again, but again, the guys from IC continuing to cook. Chef everywhere you go. Asimi is the one in the kill feed right now as he catches the guys from Habitual Gaming, and yet another one of Habitual Gaming goes down. Finally, Death Fury has something to do about it, but then the guys from Most Wanted continuing to squeeze in these guys from Norwich Esports, in that northern position, trying to keep the rest of them at bay. and Team Icy have finally made it inside of the play zone, trying to cook the guys from Habitual Gaming. Switches to the DBS. Rag and Bone is just, making noise on the ground floor, trying to get these guys ready. His teammates are ready, but that's a beautiful grenade. One size fits all, and that is the end of First Arctics. They do go out with a bang, literally with a bang. They do go out. Beautiful defensive play coming in from Habitual Gaming with that astounding grenade. Now that is a way to go out. Beautiful play from Habitual. That is what I love to see. Ooh, Wandofi is going to be spotted there. Shot sent his way by Osiris. And a grenade sent in by the guys from Solo Esports. Now this might be an opportunity for Solo to just squeeze themselves inside. As you can see, a knock is going to be coming through there. Lobos just getting that confirmation or getting that revive on his teammates. As again, another one tries right through. He tweaks again. He tries again from the left hand side. Switches to the M416. Lobos is going to get that his bullets up there. Sends a couple of shots again. Wandofi is and Fuckboy working very, very hard together. But Wandofi is still knocked down. And now is the opportunity for Lobos to try his best to use the element of surprise. Now is the opportunity for him to jump outside and do something very, very good for his team. Beautiful, beautiful grenade coming in from Lobos there, and he is going to get a knockdown. And now the guys again, he tries. Lobos is going to get another knock against the guys from Most Wanted. Most Wanted in serious trouble right here. Lobos is trying to deal with damage towards all the rest of them, but Fatboy is going to be the nail in the coffin for him as he sends him out into the lobby, and that is going to be the end of Solo Esports. Beautiful play, beautiful defensive play by the guys from Most Wanted. Defensive plays, compound defense, that is the game of Vikendi. You have to be in the compound. You have to be able to defend the compound. You have to know every nook and cranny of the compound. You have to be prepared. You have to. Every single scenario must have played in your head, And the guys from Royal Academy, it's an unfortunate scenario for them because they do not have any eliminations just yet. They need more. They need to have started to get some numbers up on the board right now for themselves, really, because it's unfortunate they haven't been able to, but Team Invictus, they are playing in from the north. They're trying to squeeze in a position inside of the play zone. They do have a little bit of play zone to work with, so they do not necessarily need to engage with a full body, but then the points continue to dwindle the more teams continue to eliminate. You can see the eliminations across the board. You got 5 over here, another 5 over there, 4 here, 3 here. Numbers are spreading thin. Those big double-digit numbers start to become elusive when all the teams are getting eliminations one after the other. Another player from Habitual Gaming goes down. Invictus looking like they're trying to deal damage towards the guys from Goth Esports. The north position being controlled by every single team here, as now Habitual Gaming have been confirmed and sent out of the lobby, and now that is the end. 9th place, and away they go, courtesy of the Citizens. I believe that was Jetto getting the final nail in the coffin there. And the last player for Most Wanted, it is going to be Fatboy. He jumps out very, very early. He is going to be spotted, and he is going to be knocked down clean immediately by the guys from Active Gaming, but his teammate is there to the rescue. Lilith is doing a fantastic job. The smoke's already coming out, and the revive is for sure. But Goth Esports as well, somewhere around the corner, trying to find an angle there. Vibe Gaming still trying to deal damage towards the guys from Goth Esports. Ziggy switching to the grenade. He might just do the trick right here as he sends one towards Iceman. Is he going to connect? No, Iceman dodges the grenade just in time, but Kenny is still within sight. He's still within danger, and the grenade might just do the trick right now. A beautiful grenade from Ziggy there, but again he falls a little bit short. One elimination to the guys from Goth Esports, and there is still an opportunity for the guys from Active Gaming.
All right, Active Gaming has one of the players currently knocked down. Skinny trying as much as possible to see if he can get his teammate up in that particular one. He's getting healed up while the rest of the players, do go in for that revival, and it's a very tough one. We're down to that last 8, and the boys from Active Gaming currently sitting down with a full squad as well as Invictus, and this is where things now begin to get really, really spicy. Vikendi is one of those maps that Active Gaming usually does well, and we spoke about it early on. If they do want to perform, they've got to just keep going. They've got to just keep digging the ground and getting those points after points. But now turning our sights onto Goth Esport. Who's going to win this one, Priest?
Ooh, Goth eSports and Vibe Gaming, beautiful play coming in from them, but the third party from Most Wanted is going to be the end of these guys, sending them back into the lobby. Goth eSports, that is going to be the end of the game for them. Royal Academy pushing up onto the scene right there, but Active Gaming holding a beautiful position, holding it very, very tightly, and now Osiris is going to be confirmed. Beautiful grenade coming in for the guys from, I believe that is the Citizens. Beautiful, beautiful position coming in. 7 eliminations to them as 666 is trying his best to keep these guys at bay, but beautiful angle again from 666. He continues to cook the grenade. He's trying to use the grenade as his weapon there. He's not trying to use anything. Oh, that's a beautiful lob right there, and he does the trick. Beautiful grenade again from 666. Cover fire from his teammates all around there, and he is going to get the knock this time around. Another knock comes right through, but he is going to be dropped down, and it's all left to Jetto, trying to keep an angle against the guys from Royal Academy. Royal Academy are not having the best of games. They have 0 eliminations, and they continue to deal damage against the Citizens. But now, who is going to make that first move? Is it going to go for the revive? The moment he peeks outside, he might just get dropped immediately. Citizens are in trouble right now, but they do have the upper hand because there's 2 knocks and potentially 2 points for them if the guys from Royal Academy are eliminated, and they are going to be eliminated. The moment he decides to move outside, he's spotted. Jetto sends him outside and sends him back into the lobby. Beautiful play from the Citizens.
Man, absolutely crazy stuff going down. While they were in that move, the boys from Active Gaming got taken out as well by Invictus, and it might just be Invictus' game as they do get themselves 4 eliminations in that one and are looking towards grabbing that victory. But the boys from Citizens do still have a lot to say about this one, as the current is down with 10 kills. Most Wanted also getting into the mix right there, as they will be holding down a 2-man squad in this particular region and looking to see if they can seal this game through. The zone has also favored them. When on stage 8 of the zone, they've got an edge of it, but can Jetto be that Trojan horse that takes them down, and can the boys from Invictus seal this one?
Well, Invictus have gotten themselves a chicken dinner in the game prior to this one, so they are in high spirits. All they have to do is maintain that energy. But the fact Invictus are very, 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 very capable right here. They know exactly what to do. They have the numbers advantage, if I'm not mistaken. They have 3 players up, and they're battling against 3 players, but they know for a fact that there's 2 separate teams, so all they have to do is maintain. They do not have the play zone. That is the disadvantage here. But I do believe that Jetto does have a little bit of play zone inside to work with, so fortunately for him, he doesn't need to give away his position just yet. He is very, very close, very, very on the edge right there. But Invictus, now is their opportunity to do something. Now is their opportunity to steal the game once again, to get a back-to-back. They are very, very known for getting back-to-back chicken dinners. I saw them do it on day 1. Hopefully, I think they can do it again this time around. All they need to do is try their hardest. But Pintu has made the mistake of sacrificing a little bit of HP for the play zone there to get a vehicle inside, as Jetto continues to crawl in from the west-hand side. But Jetto is going to be spotted by Fat Boy and sent back into the lobby. And that's a 3 versus 2. Neo is going to be knocked down. Most Wanted 2 versus 2 against the guys from Invictus. It's Rogue Baby, the MVP, and Pintua.
Oh, so Rogue Baby and Pintua do have a lot to do in this particular game. But speaking about having a lot to do, Rogue Baby does go down in that particular one. Can Pintua get that revive? But the zone is also coming in as an extra player right there for the boys from Most Wanted. Can Pintua somehow get a revive onto his teammate and push onto this one? It looks like the boys from Most Wanted were going to seal this game through at some point in time. But now it is Pintua who's making that push. They've gotten that revive, but Pintua is on that push. He's on that move. He's got that edge. Should he have gotten that revive? I don't think he had the chance. But right now, he may just still be able to get Neo back up.
Ooh, that's a beautiful grenade coming in from Pintua there. But again, he is going to be fighting so many battles around. And again, the guys from Most Wanted continue to send grenade one after the other. And it is going to be the end of the guys from Invictus, as Most Wanted claim a chicken dinner with 14 eliminations. Now this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, Fire. This kind of performance coming in from a team that has not been written off yet. Most Wanted showing us, yes, that there is still a chance for them. And now Royal Academy, surely Royal Academy is in trouble. They are definitely in trouble this time around. They've started to bottle that lead, and it is starting to show. Fantastic play coming in from Most Wanted. But I think I think Pintua should have gotten the revive. I mean, we have carrying. He should have just carried his teammate into the play zone and got him the revive. That would have done the trick.
Yeah, I think so, but it was very slim margins for them. Sometimes it may work, sometimes he may have gotten spotted, but I think the boys from Invictus were healing at that particular point in time, so he did have a little bit of time, and he probably wasn't aware. Sometimes you just panic, you know, and these things happen, but GG's to them. At the end of the day, they got, you know, 4 eliminations and the second spot. That's still some good points.
Yes, it is some good points, you know, but not the kind of points you need if you want to finish, you know, in second place or in first place in today's games, you know. But they did do a fantastic job, you know, Most Wanted doing a fantastic job of getting themselves that chicken dinner, you know. It was a way to go though. Lillis was the MVP. Fantastic play coming from Lillis. I saw, you know, the way that Lillis was able to hold out a couple of those positions, you know, and play supports, you know, from the rear end, even the revives and the use of utilities. Absolutely brilliant, you know. But then again, the guys from Most Wanted, now this is the kind of game they've been looking for. Once again, they have now put themselves back into the conversation. No slacking, fire. You do not want to get caught slacking, you know.
You know, every single team right here is vying for that top spot. They continue to make that push. They continue to try to get those kills, and I just love what everyone is doing. Even First Actors, we didn't speak about them. Look at the amount of damage they had going into that final circle. But at the end of the day, they didn't get that winner with the chicken dinner, but they got their kills, and they'll also be looking to get those points on the map. So be curious to see what that means at the end of the day by the time the map does show. But it's some great stuff coming on from everyone right here.
You know, yeah, great stuff. You know, I mean, I think this is the first game where I've seen 3 teams finish off with double digits. You know, 10 eliminations to First Arctics, 10 to the Citizens, 14 to the guys from Most Wanted. Now, this is the kind of performance, you know, that says a lot. You can tell from the graph right here, the rest of the teams getting caught out, getting dominated by those first 5 teams, you know, Citizens, First Arctics, Most Wanted, even the guys from Active Gaming putting in a lot of work in there, dealing so much damage, but they just couldn't get those eliminations to boot, you know. And again, the leaderboard is going to give us a general idea of what exactly is the plan right here. 67 points to the guys from Royal Academy, and here we go. Royal Academy are in danger now. Finally, they are in danger going into the final game. Fire, what do you think? Can they keep bottling?
I think if there's a good game from, you know, either Active Gaming and the boys from Citizens, it will turn things around for them, because now all of a sudden you're seeing them get you know, really close towards that position, and they may be able to steal that #1 spot. Imagine if Most Wanted just gets, let's just say, 6 points in the next game, 6 kills. That's all they need, and either Active Gaming or Citizens has a massive game. That takes Royal Academy away from that #1 spot all the way down to the 3rd spot, and it'll be a shame if they don't qualify.
You know, I mean, 5-point difference, 8-point difference. They started fire. Royal Academy started the day with a 29-point gap from first place to second. They started the day with a 29-point differential. Now it is down to 5 points within the first place team and 8 points between second place team. Royal Academy can lose now. They started the day not being touchable, but they are now in danger. They have bottled every single game today. This is the best game they've had, and they had no elimination. They had no elimination. This was the best game they've had. They have no elimination. Now we are going to go into the final game of the day. It is going to be Miramar. And what happens in Miramar? Afro eSports, they will go into the back of the house, bring out pistol and mortar and firewood and start cooking. Because that's Afro eSports for you. They've been waiting for this game, you know. But then, you know, we're all looking forward to seeing how the last game is going to pan out. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the WAPL, and I am excited to see who is going to qualify today, because right now, Fire, I don't know. It started off as a done deal for Royal Academy, but now I don't even know. You know, I have no idea.
There are two major teams that have to go out early for it to be a done deal for Royal Academy. If either Citizens or Active Gaming get taken out quite early, then they can be sort of at ease. But as long as Active Gaming or Citizens are in the game, getting the kills, trying to get those chicken dinner, then they're in a whole lot of trouble. Because, you know, coming in on that second place, if Most Wanted, like I said, just gets themselves 6 points alone, and Royal Academy gets none, then Most Wanted takes on that first spot. Then, if either Citizens or even the boys right there from Active Gaming gets a massive points. Imagine if Active Gaming gets you know, a 20-point game, they get 10 kills and they get the winner with a chicken dinner. Then all of a sudden they've taken over the amount of points that Royal Academy has. So it's a very tough one for them. Even Citizens is 10 points ahead. So if Citizens just has an 11 kill game or 11-point game, then all of a sudden they've climbed above the boys right there from Royal Academy. So they've got to be really careful, because while they're on top, they might not qualify.
Yeah, you know, there's so much to it there's so much to it than that. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be heading into Miramar very shortly, as we are now getting the teams into the lobby. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the WAPL. Do not touch that dial as we head towards the final break of the evening.
Girl, I wanna get swept away. Kiss your sweet lips every day, over and over again. Find a love that'll never end and have a few kids, settle down. Find a spot on the edge of town, sit on that porch swing. Living life just you and me, girl, riding that edge, chasing that sun, doing time. Taking on the world, leaving no prisoners like Bonnie and Clyde. Ready, set, go, baby, time is wasting. But you and I get to making everything we want come true. Got one life, and it's me and you, girl. No need to hesitate now. All we need will work itself out. Just you wait and see. It's all right here, baby, just believe that you and I were meant to walk this road. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. There's no need to pump the brakes. I see our future, let's run out and take all it has in store. I've never wanted something more than what's here in front of us. Two crazy kids that can't get enough of a dream waiting to come true. Let's make it happen, see it through. I can see the finish line waiting up ahead. Let's you and I cross it together, holding hands. Ready, set, go, baby, time is wasting. But you and I get to making everything we want come true. Got one life, and it's me and you, girl. No need to hesitate now. All we need will work itself out. Just you wait and see. It's all right here, baby, just believe that you and I will.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is the West African Pro League brought to you by 3 Crown Esports. Fire, swallow us.
Yes,
Swallow us
that's
now.
good.
Swallow. It is me, your boy Priest, and I'm here with my man Fire that's trying to swallow us here because Active Gaming just bottled that game because I honestly thought they were going to win it. They had the best position, but you know, give it up to the guys from Most Wanted, you know, for keeping it a buck. I mean, one game, all it takes is one game. Now we are in Miramar, and we know what happens in Miramar. Afro Esports, that's what happens in Miramar. But is it going to be 3 times out of 3? Afro Esports going to go into the kitchen for the 3rd time in a row and whip up these 20 burgers that they usually do, those chicken dinner burgers they've been serving us, you know, all these days. Are they going to do it again?
I don't know. It's certainly what they needed in this last game, but you know, if I'm going to look at the people who are most likely ginger to whip up some crazy game, I do believe it's Citizens and, you know, Active Gaming, because they're just on that edge to qualify. Most Wanted and Most Wanted put up a good game, but you hardly have seen them do that throughout the entire week, right? So you're not thinking Most Wanted is going to have a great game in that final. Then also sitting all the way at that top is Royal Academy, who's not having quite a great day. So definitely Citizens and Active Gaming will be looking and say, hey, you know what, this is probably our day, this is probably our chance. If we can have a great performance in this final day, then maybe, just maybe, we might be able to, you know, pull through.
Yeah, you know, pulling through is the plan here. It gets lonely at the top because all of those top teams, they are now battling for that 1st and 2nd place. They are now battling to get straight into the finals of the West African Pro League. Remember, the finals can only contain 16 teams. The bottom 6 will be eliminated. Nobody wants to be in that bottom 6, that is for sure. You know, so who are the next 2 teams that's going to be joining the guys from Fugitives Esports in that cushion final position, you know, before we now start sorting for the remaining 13 teams. It is going to be a hell of a ride. It's going to be a hell of a ride here because Royal Academy, Active Gaming, Citizens, Most Wanted, Fowlplay, Harsh Esports, Team X extreme, all of these teams, there is still a chance for them. All they need to do is whip up a burger, a classic Miramar burger. And a burger is the type of thing that Afro Esports is known for in doing in Miramar. Are these teams going to allow Afro Esports to do it once again?
Yeah, definitely Afro Esports, usually getting those points after points in Miramar games. But speaking about teams who are looking to get those points, let's turn our sights onto the boys from Habitual, who are currently on ground with First Actics. First Actics, one of those teams who were, getting the point after point. I do believe they got 10 eliminations. I'm not sure if it was this game or even the previous one. And, they've shown that they have a lot of fights in them. But let's see what Jealousy can do if Habitual can come in right here and take out one of the major players in this game.
Ooh, Fowlplay in serious trouble again. Solo Esports getting caught out once more. Shy is going to go down. Again, Samurai is doing the needful, as two of the guys from Fowlplay have been sent back into the lobby, Shy and LB, but fortunately for them, they were able to take one back. But Solo Esports looking very, very comfortable right here. But unfortunately, Samurai is a solo man. Again, he pops out again. He does try his best to get Solo down, but Solo is going to use that Thompson to obliterate him. And now it's a 2 versus 2, trading 2 apiece. And now the guys from Solo Esports still trying to maintain this position in Pecado every single time they get into the skirmish within the guys from Fowlplay. Now they've been trading 2 players once again.
I'm not quite a fan of teams, just having splits and just fighting it alone for quite a long time, because I do feel like if you're in a situation where you have 2 other members, they can join the fight and be part of the conversation. But somehow you just see the other two players from Solo Esports just hanging on back and not joining Samurai in that particular fight. There was a time when they were fighting outside the building. They could have, taken out Solo in that particular move. But it does happen sometimes. You do find there's always situations where, you lose a couple of players. But all the way on the other end too as well is the boys from IC. You do have Simi, who has gotten 3 kills or 3 eliminations onto the boys right there from Habitual. And it's just Henro who is left.
Ooh, Habitual Gaming getting the breakfast served to them in the night, and that is an unfortunate scenario for them there, because First Arctics have been having the time of their lives in these past couple of games. They did manage to squeeze out 10 eliminations in that Vikendi game. They did get eliminated pretty early, but but they did manage to squeeze in some points. Again, the leaderboard will be resetting itself once again tomorrow, so hopefully these teams will be learning. But again, there will be two new additions into the league. I think 03 and 21st Century, or I believe 03 and Cyclone Shield eSports. 2 of those teams will be joining us inside of tomorrow's game, so to get themselves into that final as well. So I'm very stoked to see what teams are going to be added so far. But First Arctics, they are in the driver's seat right here, getting 3 eliminations right out the gate. But all of this is going to be for nothing unless they can do unless they can give us a chicken burger finish like the guys from Afro Esport do. And I'm talking 19, 20, 21 eliminations, those kind of numbers. But beautiful play coming in from First Arctics. As you can see, Mash is going to be driving around there trying to get some intel onto the last player for Habitual Gaming.
All right, so if you're looking to get those extra points right there, obviously they're starting it out quite well. But Ragbotter's got to be careful as he does get taken down by Henro and sent him back into the lobby. And that was the fear right there, as Henro was just looking for who was going to be the scapegoat in that particular one. You could see that it was probably a wrong intel coming in right there, because while they were just scouting around, looking to see where the last player from Habitual was, they scouted that region, but they were not able to spot Henro, and now that they have spotted him, they're going on and looking for him, but the damage has already been done as he's taking out one of the players already. And right now you can see Simi taking him out to send him back into the lobby. But Simi got 4 kills, but they lost one of the players.
So interesting stuff coming in from Asimi there in a 1 versus 4 against Habitual Gaming, single-handedly obliterating them, and sending them back into the lobby, and that is going to be the end, for the guys from Habitual Gaming. Their hopes of getting into the finals is going to have to, hold on for just a couple of more days in the league, but hopefully, they will be getting some action, in their general direction as we proceed. Fowlplay still in Picado, trying to get rid of the guys from Solo Esports. Again, it is one of those things, Fire, that, I see a lot. The stubbornness. I mean, 3 times out of 3, the guys from Fowlplay and Solo Esports keep getting into this engagement, every single time. But Fowlplay won't budge. Solo Esports won't budge. Now they've cut, their chances short by 50% each, of making it into that final third. Now, it is so crazy because I can't even tell, what teams are going to be making it into the finals because there's so much going on. There's so much violence. All of these teams are trying their best to put some numbers on the board, but again, it still boils down to who wants it more.
Yeah, definitely. It boils down to who wants it more at the end of the day, because Royal Academy, who's currently sitting on at that top, you can see they have no elimination so far. If they do have a bad game, and definitely they can't see it through. But I do believe that if they manage to get themselves maybe even 10 points out of this game, then that might just be enough for them. But in order to do that, you need to be getting the kills quite early on, because we do know getting those kills towards the end of the game is quite tough, because there's a lot of third party that will be coming through. So you need to get at least those 4 eliminations quite early on and continue to build off as the game does progress.
Superstar activity there from, these teams building as the game has continued to progress. We are already down 14 teams here, and we've got 49 players in the lobby. So there's 2 teams already gone back into the lobby, and there's still more to go. Solo Esports have not been having necessarily the best, past couple of games so far. It's so interesting because these teams, they started the league very, very strongly. Solo Esports was like 3rd place on day 1, I believe, and then day 2 they just fell off. Fowlplay as well. At a point, Fowlplay was in 2nd place, but now they're struggling mid-table. I mean, there's so much going on. All of these teams they're learning so much about themselves, in the West African Pro League, seeing, the strategies that work, strategies that they can apply, strategies that they can maintain. It's still a matter of how they want to navigate, the play zones, the shifts, the hard shifts, every single thing that goes on. You have to have a plan. You have to be very, very insightful, and stick to your game plan, because that northern area there, Hacienda, being controlled by the guys from Afro eSports, you can tell that this is exactly how they start. They start very, very quietly, but then they start to build the eliminations right out the gate. And look at that, the play zone is going to look like it's going to favor the guys from Afro eSports in that north of Hacienda once again.
Absolutely amazing stuff going on so far, as all of these teams are now beginning to rotate into that zone. You can see the boys from Goth eSports trying as much as possible to rotate into that zone. Active Gaming holding the central spot, as well as the boys from Extreme and Vibe Gaming around San Martin. And then, like you just mentioned, all the way in Hacienda is the boys right there from Afro eSports, who are looking to continue to grab themselves a good position, as they do plan to move on in this game and grab themselves the win in this one. They definitely do need that if they will be looking to qualify all the way from this map today. So we still got about 14 teams right here in the lobby as we are moving on to that 3rd stage. Everyone's hopping into the vehicle, looking to make sure that they can rotate into a great spot. But Vibe Gaming, what you gotta say about Vibe Gaming?
Vibe Gaming, an adaptive team. Unfortunately for them, they've been coming in as a 3-man squad, so that's not been the best entry for them so far, and they've been getting battered time and time again, but they've been able to squeeze in point after point, as the games continue to go by. But unfortunately, they've just not been able to do enough. Well, hopefully they will be able to find a way, to get into that final starting from tomorrow, when the leaderboard is going to be refreshed and we have the addition of 2 new teams. But again, Vibe Gaming, they have the potential, very, very strong team, very, 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 very capable team. Kenny, Iceman, Bad Boy Tims, they are very, 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 very capable of getting the job done. It's just that, it's been an unfortunate couple of days for them. I saw it's so unfortunate just because of the fact that, the structure of the tournament, adds a new team after removing another team, so that addition of that single team could be the thing that changes a lot of things for a lot of these teams, So it still all boils down to adaptability, Vibe Gaming is one of those teams that adapts, but they don't adapt very, very quickly, and that is one of the dangers when you're trying to go the adaptive route, so you can easily, lose focus because of the ever-changing scenarios of the lobby.
Boom, boom, boom. All right, great stuff coming down right here as things are looking quite great for a couple of guys who are already situated quite strongly within that zone. You do have the boys from Fowlplay Extremists, Vibe Gaming, as well as the boys from Afro eSports sitting quite comfortably in the zone already. All the way in La Bendita, you do have the boys from Royal Academy as well, not too far away from Citizens. It does look like for my serious skirmish between the two as they're rotating across those very similar parts, as well as the boys from Goth. So with 14 teams left in this one, 49 buddies. Looking at the way everything is positioned right now, Priest, who do you think are those teams that are going to get into that top 5?
I mean, the goal right now is top 2. Anything outside of top 2 is just a waste of time because the leaderboard is going to reset itself tomorrow. So we're going to have 2 brand new teams and everything is just going to start from scratch. But right now, oh my days, what a shift, a whole Western shift. Oh my days. And now all of these teams are in trouble because, they have to be on the move right now. You have to be very, very adaptive. Now is the time to make that rotation. Now is the time to get ready. Now, we do have to set our eyes on the guys from Royal Academy, Most Wanted, Active Gaming, Citizens. Those are the teams that are vying right now. These are the teams you have to watch. Royal Academy started the day with at least a 25-point discrepancy. They had 25 points in the bag. All they had to do was just get a couple of points and maintain the lead, but unfortunately for them that lead has gone all the way down to 5 points with Most Wanted right at their heel, and the Citizens getting caught out again in that eastern side. Now they are in trouble. This is not the time for the Citizens to get eliminated at all, if that engagement comes through. But Royal Academy, though, all they have to do is just hold on. They have to hold on very, very tightly, and they might just be able to claim this game.
Yeah, absolutely. All they gotta do is continue to hold on and grab themselves those extra points. If they do get taken out early, then things might not be looking quite great for them, and they might not be able to qualify. If you want to qualify all the way into that final stage, definitely you'll be looking to do that right now while you're currently sitting down at the top of the entire leaderboard coming into today's game. So it might be in the bag for them if they can seal this one through. But Sidizens Esports is one of those teams that are vying in for that top spot, and they do stand a chance to do that as they're currently sitting down with enough points. I do believe they're just 11 points away from that top spot. If they can get themselves a couple of kills in this one and grab themselves maybe that top 3 spots, we might just be looking at a shake-up all the way at the top.
Yeah, there's so much to give. There's so much to happen, as the game continues to go on. The Citizens already starting very, very strong here with a couple of eliminations to boot for themselves, and I think it's now a matter of how many eliminations they can get, in time. It's now a matter of timing. Active Gaming catching a whiff of the guys from Most Wanted. Now this is an engagement that is one for the books. Fat Boy actually pulls up to the scene, and Sleepless with Ines also pull up as well, and that's a 1 versus 2. Fat Boy trying to deal damage almost to the guys of Active Gaming, and Ness catches him, drops him down to his knees, and he's going to confirm him. Most Wanted, now is not the time for you to get eliminated. They're in trouble right now. Lilies is knocked down as well. They're in serious danger, but Wandofi is going to be the one to run out of dodge and escape, trying to keep his teammates' hope alive. Unfortunately, it is Active Gaming that is going to be the thorn in their side fire. Active Gaming are doing the right thing right now.
Yeah, if you're looking to move all the way into that top spot, you do want to be taking out the guys, especially from Most Wanted. They're currently sitting down in that second spot, and if they do not grab those points right there, we might be seeing them, guys like Sidizens and Active Gaming catching up to them. So yeah, definitely Active Gaming wants to be taking them out. But look at that one coming in from Neo, one of our MVPs in today's games, getting those extra knocks against none other than Royal Academy Tokyo.
Oh, Most Wanted. Most Wanted have been sent out of the game. That is the end with no points, and they did have a 5-point lead on second place, but Most Wanted, this is not the trick right here. And Active Gaming pull up to the scene as well, trying to squeeze some numbers for themselves, elimination after elimination. They've got 3 in the cut, and it looks like they might just be hungry for more. Pin 2 is going to be confirmed and blown up as well. Oh my days, Active Gaming might just be dealing damage, but Neo pulls up to the scene, and he is going to be confirmed. Invictus sent out in 11th place. Active Gaming 6 eliminations to boot, and here we go. The battle for top 3 continues. Active Gaming doing a fantastic job of rendering the guys from Invictus useless and sending them back into the lobby.
All right, so Active Gaming, if they are looking towards getting into that qualification spot, this is exactly what they need to be doing, as well as Sidizens. So remember, we spoke about it before this game started, that Royal Academy has to put in the work to make sure that they can qualify, to make sure that they find themselves in that top spot. Because if the boys from Active Gaming or the boys right there from Sidizens grab themselves a whole lot of points, then all of a sudden they can't turn things around.
Yeah, you know, Royal Academy, they need more. They need to do more. They've gotten just 1 elimination so far, and it's not doing the trick. But Jetto is going to be peeking out there. He's going to be summoned, and the shots are going to be sent in his general direction. But the guys from Men of Blood fighting so many battles right now. They're fighting the north. They're fighting the south. It looks like Winterfell up in this bitch right now. Oh my God, so much violence going on. But Men of Blood looking their absolute best, trying to keep, you know, the violence at bay. 11 and Magic playing the north position, holding the buildings right there, trying to keep the rest of their teammates from being sent back into the lobby, but the bullets still continue to send right through.
And then what a tough time for all of these guys as they're making the rotations. The boys right there from Sidizens getting the shots right there onto the boys from Active Gaming as they're making the rotations into that zone. And this is exactly what happens sometimes. Miramar is just one of those maps that just, you know, gets you to just rotate over and over again. And if Sidizens do continue this momentum that they have, they might be able to qualify all the way into this game. Because remember, the boys right there from Most Wanted have been sent out by Active Gaming, and this may just be the game the Sidizens need to qualify into that finals.
Oh, fantastic, you know, fantastic play coming in. Royal Academy down to 2 players and 1 elimination. They need to maintain these positions. They need to maintain these numbers if they want to qualify into the finals. Sidizens already doing what they need to, 5 points clear. They are currently, as it stands, Sidizens are in second place. They've surpassed the guys from Most Wanted. Now it's a battle of if they can hold out that position, because the guys from Afro eSports are chasing as well. Even Active Gaming have 6 eliminations, but unfortunately for Active, they are down to 1 player. So now it takes it's all left to the guys from Afro eSports. Can they do a banger? Can they give us a burger? If they can't get that burger, it might just do the trick. It might just be the nail on the coffin for the dreams of the guys from Royal Academy, because Royal Academy are the team in danger right now. They are in serious trouble.
You know, Royal Academy with just 1 player left. They haven't gotten a lot of eliminations to themselves. If they get taken out right about now, it will spell almost an end for them, because, you know, the boys from Active Gaming have just 1 player, but if they somehow can manage to get themselves into that top 3 spots, then now they add eliminations into that, and we don't know what that shakeup is going to look like eventually, but we'll see how things go as we continue to progress in this particular game. But speaking of progressing, we do have the boys from Afro eSports as well, sitting down with 5 kills, and we know they do know how to get those points in Miramar games.
Yeah, you know, Miramar is where they turn into the chefs and they start to cook you know, the violence is going to be oozing out there. Citizens looking very, very comfortable, striding along, having a little bit of play zone to work with just in front of them. They do not necessarily, you know, need to start making these advances, but again, they might just decide to crash the Men of Blood and take that compound, take that position. That is going to be the wiser play to make, you know. I mean, it is going to be a better position for them to hold out, but again, the last player for Active Gaming is still in the west hand side, and I believe he has a little bit of play zone to work with just for the time being. Active Gaming, they might just do this, they might just be able to squeeze right through. They know how to survive, very, very likely, but you know, the guys from Afro Esports still putting the work in, still trying to do those amazing numbers that they do know, and again, they're making the play, trying to eliminate the guys from Men of Blood. 11 and Magic, the last two up, charging the grenade one after the other. Grenade comes out, but it doesn't connect. 11 is still hard in another grenade, trying to connect yet another one. The Molotov starting to cook outside. Neo trying to take the engagement, but 11 is going to be spotted and dropped by a grenade right there, and he is going to be confirmed by Neo. Beautiful play from Afro Esports, and that is going to be the end for Men of Blood. 7 eliminations. Afro Esports started to cook once again. They're in the kitchen right now. Chef Neo is cooking. Afro Esports, can they do it once again?
Man, it is party at the party at every single corner. You even see the boys from Rack also getting taken down. Rage, Deji and his boys are getting pummeled by the boys right there from Extreme, and they are trying as much as possible to see if they can get the confirmations, and it is what it is. You can see Sean X just fighting hard, as we do see on the kill field. Vibe Gaming going down as well. Things are getting really intense, as we do have 5 teams left right here.
Ooh, 5 teams left with 14 bodies in the cut, and the violence is peak level. Violence is peak level at this point. The numbers continue to ring. The violence continue to ensue. Afro Esports still doing it from the other side. Active Gaming equally doing it as well. The numbers continue to increase. Royal Academy have been sent out of the lobby, and now it's left to Afro Esports. Afro Esports is left to Active Gaming, is left to the Citizens, who wants it more. There's only space for 2. One team is going to be returning here tomorrow, but we don't know who it is just yet. But Afro Esports have actually pulled up to the scene, and they've been spotted. 666 sent some shots towards Peachy, and now the Citizens, they might just decide to take the engagement. As you see, Becco, and the confirmation is going to come through. Beautiful chef grenade. So now Swags is going to fall all the way back, but the advance is already coming. The Citizens want all the smoke, they want all the violence. Swags is going to try to keep them at bay, but the rest of his teammates are going to be pulling up to the scene as well. The moment he peeks right there, and Jetto is going to give his head outside, but Swag is going to send him back. The rest of the guys from Afro Esports, they want this chicken dinner. They know what they need to do. They know the absolute banger of numbers they need to put out. Again, he peeks outside. Again, he's going to try. Swags is going to be spotted. Grenade from Becco. Beautiful play from the Citizens. They are trying to keep the guys from Afro Esports from getting those numbers. This is what you call gatekeeping. Citizens at its finest. Afro Esports equally doing a fantastic job of holding it together, but the play zone starting to squeeze all of them from the western side, trying to keep them inside, outside, and you know, deal damage towards that position.
Citizens put in exactly the amount of numbers that they do need, but now here comes the Trojan horse coming in from Active Gaming. It is the boy Hope who gets a knock onto one of the players right there from Citizens, and if he can get another knock right there, he might just be able to turn things around for the boys right there for Citizens. But he's got to be careful. Staying alive in the game is probably the priority for the boys from Active Gaming, as they will be looking to see what they can get out of this game. But Afro, knock after knock coming through onto Bego right there, as they're still fighting for their life to keep their hopes alive in this particular game. Hunter, I do believe the last one for the team, he gets taken out from the distance right there by the boys from Extreme, and we're down to 4 teams in this particular one. Citizens still looking quite strong, as they've got themselves 8 kills in this particular game. The boys from Extreme are sitting down with a 3-man squad, sending out them shots onto several different positions. And who is going to win this one? There's 2 players from Citizens, it is the 3 players from Extreme, it is 1 player right there from Active Gaming, and it is still looking quite intense.
Oh, the player from Active Gaming is the thorn in the side. He has been absolutely brilliant so far, and he might just have done enough. 7 eliminations for him, and he might just be the one to do it for the guys from Active Gaming. He peeks to the right-hand side. He spots Gordier, and he is going to drop Gordier. 666, unfortunately, is using the grenade to do the wrong thing, and 666 makes a mistake. Oh my days! Hope is the one for Active Gaming. Drop Citizens back into the lobby. 8 eliminations and going out in 4th place, but here comes Active Gaming. They do somehow manage to keep it a buck. The mistake coming in from 666 there, that is a horrendous mistake. What a time to be eliminated in 4th place. Citizens, did they do enough? But Team Extreme, this might just be an opportunity for them as well to claim some points. An unfortunate scenario for foul play there as they are trying to hold a central position. They are in a little bit of a squeeze, but Active Gaming somehow with a solo player, they've continued this dominance once again. Somehow they've actually been able to make it into the top 3 with 9 eliminations, I believe, and the numbers keep piling up. Hope might just be giving Active Gaming hope right now, Fire.
Man, when you got hope in your team, you can definitely get those extra points. As you can see, the boys from Active Gaming still putting in the work in this particular game and can now turn their sights onto maybe finishing this game in a 2nd place, getting themselves some extra points. They've got 8 kills to their name, so they obviously are looking quite strong up maybe on that leaderboard. We'll see what that means at the end of the game. But so far, now you're seeing the fight coming down between the boys right there from Fowlplay and the boys from Extreme. And here is the thing. Can we see a game where the boys from Active Gaming win it through while Extreme and Fowlplay are just going toe-to-toe against each other? We'll see how that one actually goes down. But Extreme is looking like they have the bodies to seal this game.
Yeah, Team Extreme looking very comfortable right now. You know, I mean, if they did do some fantastic numbers, it might have just been enough for them, you know, but it is going to be the end for Active Gaming as Lone Wolf is going to spot Hope and send him out. But I believe he did just enough, 8 eliminations to him. Now that is a double-digit finish as well. It might just be enough. Sean is going to peek to the left-hand side. He's going to be spotted again by the guys from Fowlplay. But again, he is very careful in that position. The numbers advantage is in favor of the guys from Team Extreme as Ronnie is playing forward there. It's a 1 versus 2, but he is going to fall back, trying to get an angle, trying to get a position there. Might just do the trick. The violence is going to continue though. Team Extreme Violence is the name, and that is for a fact. They are trying to get at least a couple of more eliminations to wrap this game. I know for a fact, you know, that they are not going to make it to the finals, but they do want to go out with a bang. They do want to get themselves a chicken dinner. The utility is already coming out. Lone Wolf spotted again. Some shots sent in his general direction. Ronnie not letting them rest. He's moving left, right, and center, just trying to keep them distracted while the rest of his teammates try to attack that entire position from Fowlplay. The bridge is what is keeping them safe, but for how long can they maintain that position?
Absolutely. We'll see how long that one actually does work out for them. The boys from Fowlplay who currently do not have the zone. They've got to move in right there. So using that as protection is not going to work for a very long time. It's the boys from Extreme who are currently sitting down with a great spot within that center, and that may just be the defining moment for them, because Ronnie and his boys, all they have to do is just wait it out for the boys from Fowlplay to reveal themselves, and Solo has got to make the move. As you can see, he's just looking and lurking and looking for that one opportunity. This is where the nades are supposed to start to fly around. Lone Wolf also trying as much as possible to get an angle, get a space within that zone. But Senior Boy and the rest of the players, they've got their eyes on them. All they have to do now is just wait it out.
Oh yes, you know, patience is a virtue, and he might just do the trick this time around. And again, Team Extreme do pull out the rabbit out of the hat as they do get that chicken dinner using the advantage of the numbers. Beautiful play from Team Extreme as they do finish out the last game of the night with a chicken dinner and 5 eliminations.
Man, absolutely amazing stuff coming in from all of these teams. We're seeing everyone just fighting out for that spot. You know, different teams just being, you know, absolutely amazing. There's been some battling here and there, but at the end of the day, it was an amazing spectacle from all of these teams. Kudos to them, as we will be looking at the final leaderboard of the day and seeing who qualifies onto the next stage.
Yeah, you know, beautiful play coming in from Team Extreme, you know, getting themselves a little taste of that chicken dinner. It's not, you know, the performance that would have got giving them, you know, too much of anything, but unfortunately, you know, they did a fantastic job at least telling us, yes, we can get a chicken dinner, we just need more practice, we just need more time, and we were able to do a whole lot more. You know, I'm so impressed, you know, with the ability of these teams to play at this very high level. You know, there's so much pressure, there's so much, you know, interesting, you know, setups going on for these teams, but I'm so impressed with the way they've handled it. Active Gaming in particular, the ability of Active Gaming to survive off of a single player has to be studied at school. It has to be studied at school. With a solo player, they always do the most. It is, if it's not a Ness, it is Skinny. If it's not Skinny, it's Sleepless. If it's not Sleepless, this time it's Hope. And Hope is out here giving Hope because he is the MVP. He is the main man fire. And it'd be like the pep talk walk, because what are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, the goal right there for the team is just keep going, just keep pushing, you know, and your opportunity will come. And I guess, you know, when you have someone whose name is Hope in the team, definitely he would, you know, just keep up that torch and, you know, just get them those extra points. So kudos to them. But everyone was fighting today, man. Everyone was fighting in that Mirama game. It was just tough.
You know, I mean, yeah, because Afro eSports, you know, there was not enough bodies for them to cook. You know, everyone was cooking. Afro eSports was cooking as well, but this time everyone was a chef in this final game because they knew what was at stake. You know, they did not want to allow the opportunity for Afro eSports to give us those burgers. You know, that's what everyone was avoiding. Once they started seeing Afro in the kill feed, everybody started going crazy. Active Gaming started going crazy. Citizens started going crazy. Team Extreme started shooting. Fowlplay started shooting. You know, everyone was just shooting left, right, and center, and that is what I love to see. Beautiful play coming in from the rest of these teams. As you can see, it is those top teams that are able to deal damage across the board. It is unfortunate though that Most Wanted got eliminated very, very early, courtesy of who? Active Gaming. It's like it's planned work. Active Gaming must have planned this. Nothing you can tell me.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking out one of the rivals on top of you is definitely going to mean a lot. I do believe that the Active probably did not do enough to qualify, but this may just mean that Citizens now snatched that #1 spot and Active Gaming just 6 points behind, but it will be Citizens and Royal Academy making it all the way towards the next stage.
Ooh, was so close, but Royal Academy somehow their performance from yesterday still carry them through. This says a lot, actually. The performance carried them through, yeah, because they performed absolutely horribly today, you know, but somehow the performance from yesterday was still able to give them a boost into the finals. A big GG's to them, but the Citizens somehow doing it as well with no chicken dinner, no wins. They still managed to top the lobby and they managed to qualify themselves into the finals. A big congratulations to the guys from the Citizens and the Royal Academy for making it into the finals. Active Gaming just coming in very close, within a breath right there, and Most Wanted equally, you know, coming through with a breath right there. Beautiful game, you know, from these teams. But then, you know, the leaderboard is going to be reset tomorrow, and I think we're going to see the guys from Cyclone Shield and 03 Brothers, you know, come inside and join, you know, the rest of this lobby. And hopefully I want to see, you know, something very crazy go on tomorrow. But absolutely fantastic performance, you know, to wrap up the game from Active Gaming. I'm so excited to see them, you know, tomorrow as well, do the exact same thing. You know, I'm super stoked to see them, and I'm sure that there's going to be more, you know, adaptations to the lobby. They're definitely going to get better. You know, I've seen that, like I said, surviving off a single player, nobody has been able to do it just like Active Gaming. Big shout out to them.
All right, so great stuff to all of the teams who were able to show up today and perform quite well. It was basketballs from every single corner, but at the end of the day, it will be Citizens and Royal Academy moving on to the next phase. Tomorrow's going to be a reset, like you have heard. I do believe we're going to be joined by 03 Brothers and Cyclone Shield, so it's going to be some more basketballs. Are we going to see as much bottling as we did today in tomorrow's games? We'll see how that one goes down. But do remember to hit that like and hit that subscribe, as we will be calling it today, and we'll be back for some more action at the same time tomorrow. See you then.